It's been so long. Uh-oh. That's not real. You didn't see that. Let me...
I believe in niggas.
Well, that's the first thing that... Yeah, 88 days ago. I should...
80 days ago?
Why'd you send me here?
Send you
Where
where?
am I?
Where are you?
I'm in the core.
Yeah.
Hello, Devin.
Why do you say it like that? I like Devin. Anyways, in the last session, 88 days ago,
It sounds like a session. 88 days.
we kicked this mini-series off with the Adjunct Assembly finding themselves being brought in for a very important meeting, the turning of an era in Aradness. This group being very important individuals from across different facets and organizations of the Empire. You all operate as a microcosm of the administration as a whole. Some of you being military, some being civil service, some being scientists, some being, I guess, philosophers, theorists. All of you being summoned bright and early to the I forgot the name of the spire. Holy shit, I forgot the name of the spire. It's been so long. Wow, I'm messing up my own notes. All of you being brought to being brought to the high chamber of the core, the capital region of Aradness in the material plane. The meeting began with the many groups divulging their next steps and goals for the coming of the new era in terms of wrapping things up. Loose ends in campaigns of war, improvements in society and economy and housing, general notes of individuals and their accomplishments. Your group presented mainly only being Divine's character, Axel, who, upon getting a viewing of perhaps an alternate timeline solely presented for the Adjunct Assembly, stating that he believes there's a way to tangibly reach into and peer into other alternate variations of time, gained the attention of some truth seekers who requested a report on their desk to possibly see if they wish to support any further research by Axel. The rest of you had spent your mornings meeting with friends, some that were leaving by way of Clive Hawk, as his associate Tanny left the city and headed towards Fragilis, one of the fringe cities out towards the west, accompanying his friend Benny back to the high chamber for the meeting, before Benny himself left to recover something for the meeting, as he had always a tendency of running late to places. Kayleen and Ophelia waking up at different times in their home, preparing to depart themselves. Kayleen recovering after months of training alongside Z, a fellow ministry commander who is both of you being prepared by one of the Greater Radnian champions, Lanoth, for future accolades in the military, the ministry. We had an awakening that same day by Axel, who had faint moments of clarity in their understanding of how different timelines can vary, and we had a very rude awakening for Yamcha by way of horrible headaches and nosebleeds that seemed to be very abnormal or alien, as there was bits of gray ichor speckling their blood, and their body felt hot and overtly unnatural before it all subsided. The meeting ended with your group going their separate ways. Kayleen went to the Ministry Spire for the first briefing of their campaign against the Third Aegis after being promoted to Commandant by Lanoth and pushed to be the head of the Third Aegis campaign, given a deadline of, I believe, 2 months. Let me just make sure. You were given a deadline of scrolling.
3 weeks.
It was not 3 weeks. You would not.
Literally what it said. says. I have that written down. It says 3
It
weeks
should
to
be-
prepare.
You have 3 weeks to prepare. I meant for the actual campaign to be completed. I believe they said you had.
I don't think you ever told me that. You just told me I had 3 weeks to prepare. That's it.
Ours. Great.
That's all I have written down, bro. So,
I sent you. Go look at your DM. I sent everything in your DM. I'm pretty sure. I think.
oh,
Now I can't remember anymore.
I just don't find it in the DMs.
Oh man, just type in Third Aegis in your DMs and it should pop up. What do you mean? It'll pop up. It's in there.
Right here, plays your research for your lore. Fuck up.
Nah, they ain't doing anything
6
for that.
months. You have 6 months to achieve victory, and you're given 3 weeks to prepare before you board your citadel and depart. You'll be given 300,000 soldiers, and an additional 100,000 to defend your logistics base on the ground. You departed from there yourself, while the others went back to the adjunct spire, the assembly spire, whatever you want to call it, and spent their time beginning their research. Ophelia achieved a major theoretical breakthrough in their studies of planar travel. Yamcha went back to their room to begin further examinations of documents pertaining to their draconic research. Meanwhile, Clive and Axel spent time in the main room alongside your fellow assembly member, Ishmael, discussing the my bridge off. The figure eight killer, the killings as it would be, and individuals pertaining to that. There were names brought up, members of important places in Aradis that had been killed by the figure eight killer in the past, and you all began to deduce that perhaps these individuals knew something they shouldn't have known, and that they were taken out of the picture before whatever could have been exposed was exposed. That evening, you all went out to a bar to get drinks, including Ophelia, who had, with no work to do at the research center, joined you all. You as a party spent times alongside Lucy, the head of civil security in the Corps, as well as, each other. This is not including Ishmael, who stayed behind for his own research purposes. And you realize that Benny had not arrived yet, and so Clive spent time waiting for Benny, hoping to hear word, before receiving a message from someone claiming to be from Ministry Intelligence, telling you that you should head to Benny's home as something has happened. Clive immediately broke off with Axel in a sort of drunken stupor following behind. Arriving at Benny's house, it was a scene of carnage. Within, there was blood and viscera and body parts littering almost every aspect of the first floor of the home. Benny's mangled corpse found in the living room. An ornate bullet carved for the hawk found in his workshop, and by all intents it looked as if the figure-eight killer had came for Benny to what Clive and Axel believed to be a warning for Clive to stop looking into the killings. The two of you were ushered out by Ministry Intelligence and informed that after they had done some more examination of the body, you'd be allowed to come see it yourself. But for the time being, they had to finish getting the area cleaned up. And that is where we end the last session. I hope that was a good enough recap to get you all back up to speed. We pick up now with you all in the bar, actually. We're picking up with Ophelia, Kayleen, and Yamcha. Why can I keep track? I was looking at the names. I'm trying to remember the names again. Names are coming back to me slowly. Pick up with Ophelia, Kayleen, and Yamcha in the bar. It has been, I'd say, roughly 45 minutes to an hour since Clive and Axel left this bar. The rest of you still have having drinks with Lucy, who is at this point passed out on one of her floating swords, using it as like a gurney or a bed, while she lays down on one of them. What are you all discussing and or doing in the bar as I play, I gotta play a song. Music, make use control. Here we go, this one. What are you lot doing currently at this point in time?
Do we think everything is okay with those two? Gone for about an hour now.
I'm too tired to remember what time has passed.
I mean, it feels like it's been about an hour.
Should we go and check on them?
Might not be a bad idea, or we can wait longer, I guess, but...
We need
like
one
hopefully if
person
we-
to stay behind and look after the drunkens. They don't get in trouble and we need to drive them home.
On her sword, Lucy's like, I don't need you all to look after me. I'm fine. My sword will take me home when I've had enough drinks. And she keeps like rolling back on the sword. She falls off one of her floating swords. Another one kind of swoops under and catches her and lifts her back up again.
Okay, you gotta pinky promise me though. I raise up my pinky finger.
She like full hand just like grabs your pinky with her whole hand and just starts like shaking it back and forth.
Yes. Okay, I trust you. Come on, let's go.
Alrighty.
Ophelia, what are you doing this moment? Is Kayleen and... Were you involved in the conversation at all? You watch as Kayleen and Yantra begin to stand up to exit the bar.
I was listening to the conversation, but I'm not partaking in their actions. Unless someone very blatantly grabs me and tells me to come along.
That's up to you two. You two begin to leave the bar, and you notice that Ophelia is not following. She's still sitting at the bar, kind of nursing her drink that she's been sipping on.
Are you coming with us or?
I don't believe it'll be anything too worrying. And like you said, a watch wouldn't hurt.
Alright, well. Gotta
Perhaps
get
if
going.
it's something interesting like murder.
Wow,
Nothing
that
is
sounds as if
interesting
you know something.
compared to my studies. Murders happen all of the time.
That's true.
Okay, fair enough. Let's
Okay.
go.
I'll see you back at home.
You snooze, you lose, I suppose.
Now, do we remember where they went? I think I remember hearing the name Benny, but I don't think I know where his house is.
This is a personal question. Would you have been close with Benny by any means?
Probably not as close as Skylar, as Clive. So I don't think I would know where he'd live.
In that case, oops. I broke something here on my own stream. I will have you roll me a general intelligence check, please.
Oh boy.
Pick up this.
6. You know, at least from the direction that Clive and Axel exited at the bar, he's somewhere south of the adjunct spire, but beyond that, he could be anywhere at that point in time. But he's at least not north of the bar.
So I don't know where he lives. Do you?
Sophie died.
No.
Were you by any chance
would I
close?
know?
Were you by any chance close with Benny or no? It's against
I
personal.
wasn't close with Benny at all.
Uh,
I'm so absorbed in my studies that I don't really care about anyone
Oh,
outside of
boy.
the assembly.
you are capable of asking adjunct mind if need be. He is your little AI buddy in your head that is always technically there, but only pay attention when you ask her.
I was holding back so hard not just bringing that up.
And it's been
Forgot
a
about
while.
that.
It's been a minute. Yeah, it's fine. It's been a minute.
I mean, I have it written down, but I couldn't remember what it did.
Yeah, little AI buddy.
The anime head calls me hunk.
Brother?
Hey, little
It's a
meme.
Master Chief joke.
Already. Well, I guess ask in my head if we know where Benny lives, or are they willing to even give that information?
Well, of course, Kayleen. If you'd like, I can guide you myself manually, but you need to relinquish a bit of your cognitive control to me to guide you properly.
Oh, hell no.
Just tell me what street it's on. I can walk there.
Understood. You are given step-by-step directions back to this location. Like it's very much like a GPS. At the next intersection, turn left, and then like very much like that.
Google Maps.
You're telling me you have a GPS inside your head?
You have one too.
I guess.
Oh shit, I forgot.
I appreciate you remembering to give me Yamcha. I feel a part of the team.
Well, yeah, I keep forgetting everything these days.
Understandable, you're quite busy. And with that, I will say at about this point in time, Clive and... Wow, I'm so sorry about Axel. I'm starting to get back to the names. Clive and Axel, you both hear the voice of Magic Mind inside of your heads going, Kayleen and Yamcha are looking for you all. Would you like me to guide you to their location?
I will look at my boy. For that
Gorgeous.
one. 'Cause this is his personal situation, so.
I think Clive just kind of wants to get out of the scene real quick. It's a mirror.
If I'm correct, he did say yes.
Yes.
The two of you, while not directly being controlled, kind of feel, you know how you aimlessly wander when you're just kind of walking to walk? You feel that kind of aimless wandering being to slightly guide you more northward than any other direction of your general direction, until eventually the two groups do converge, I'd say at about here in the city. And I'll put down a token for Ophelia. About here, back at the bar. The two of you merge at the two groups merge at like a small open park area. It's got a bunch of benches, a fountain. People are kind of walking and talking as they go about the area, just different areas, almost like a small center area, not like a town center, like not that big, but it's like a small center area.
Is everything all right, you two? Or you just needed a long walk?
Well,
Benny's gone.
What do you mean, Benny's
He's
gone?
gone.
That figure eight killer I've been searching for. Killed him.
Killed him? Like, for real? Like, dead? Like, our Benny?
yes.
Clive just kind of looks at you.
He's a close friend of Clyde. Don't do that. Yeah. And it was quite brutal. Very brutal.
The worst one of the case so far.
Are you okay?
He's definitely not okay.
Do you want to go back to headquarters, or are you just gonna... Do you need a moment?
I think I just need to take a little bit of a walk.
Like a lone walk?
Probably.
Alright.
I'll see all y'all tomorrow. And hop
Stay
in.
safe, man.
I do a nod.
Here.
Whisper over to Axel, be like, you should probably follow him home from a distance.
And keep an eye on him. And make sure he
Yeah.
gets home safely.
Yeah.
I was thinking something too, but I mean, guy could possibly handle himself, but I can't do that. Y'all, make sure y'all stay safe as well. The fact that they targeted someone like that and it was more like a message. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Just keep each other safe in the meantime.
Will do.
We have to go back to the bar.
Alright. I'm pretty much sober up, so I won't be going back.
Not a problem. You've gone through a lot. Seems so.
Yeah. That was not something I hope to see in my life, so. Yeah. At least I'm not a traumatized man, but I could traumatize a man. Start walking away. hell.
Fantastic. See you in the morning.
And then you see me, I'll wave as I'm walking towards my friend. You know, it's funny because I feel like they told me to maybe like walk in the background, but I just kind of walk behind, like right next to Clive. I go, I'm gonna take that walk with you, buddy.
Feel it.
Yeah, I do.
You hear both of your adjunct mind come to you again and go, would you like me to summon your personal guards to escort you both home?
Yes, please. I think I'm too dozy right now. I'd rather have someone by me.
This goes to everyone in the assembly that is heading home currently. You're getting, all giving the same message at the same time.
I think I'll be fine.
I was just telling them to be nearby on standby, but
Have you already written a report about this, or?
Move you two over here, using Clive's
is
turn.
that towards us? Oh, we're
Yeah,
gone. We're gone already.
Yeah, we're
Tyler and Divine are gone.
I'll move you.
Unless you, can she technically call us if need be?
You guys can at any point in time ask Adjunct Mind to link you all.
Yeah. So you could link to me.
He's just for your group exclusively, but he can connect you. It's like it's like being in a group chat at all times. You're able to speak through Adjunct Mind, and if you want to reach anyone else, he can connect you to them if their arcane consciousness allows for the connection to happen.
Whole Discord.
But he cannot reach people. He cannot reach people that are not connected by the arcane matrix. So it's not like a sending spell. It only works for Iradians that have access to an arcane consciousness of some kind.
Yeah, I got you. Like a sending stone, like you have to have one.
Yes. All right, the two of you.
Alright, well, I'll go back and write a report, but everyone just stay calm and we can get through this. It'll be okay.
Well, that stirs things up a little bit. Actually, I'm gonna go head to the bar to see if Ophelia is still there.
We'll make sure she's okay.
Sounds good.
Alright, well, I'm going back. I'll start heading towards, my headquarters.
Okay. Where's the bar at? Okay. Put you right there. And get you there. After walking for maybe like a block or two, Yamcha, you see the two escorts of yours coming, like almost like they're trying to meet you halfway. You see them kind of jogging down the road, trying to meet you halfway, because your guards do usually hang out unless directed to follow you at the adjunct spire on standby. So they are coming to meet you. They're not going to meet you the whole way, but they will meet you halfway and walk you the rest of the way to the facility. At the same time, Clive and Axe are going to walk in the direction of Clive's home towards the southeastern side, and Kayleen, you return back to the bar. We will first start with Kayleen at the bar. Ophelia, around this time, actually before you get that, Ophelia, around this time, Lucy goes, Ophelia, I'm going to go home now. I'll see you later.
Alright.
You need want a sword to float you back, or can you walk?
I have not drank that much.
Oh, you're stuck in the mud still. And she kind of like rolls off to the side. Next time I come out, and she passes out on the sword. And is taken out of the area by her sword. One sword is kind of floating like above her. Other one is carrying her below. Huh? What was that? Huh?
That was me trying to look at something and it put it in chat for some reason.
Ah. But Lucy does exit out. You're like, you're pretty physically active person, Kaylee, and so you walking to meet Clive and Axel and being to walk back was maybe no more than about a 30-minute excursion to get there and about to where you are now. You're like 2 blocks, like 10 minutes. Not 10 minutes. Like you're like a 10-minute walk from the bar. You can see it down the road from you, straight ahead, and you see Lucy beginning to slow down on her swords down another road away from the bar to head somewhere. So you can see that at the very least, if Ophelia is still there, it's just her now. There's Ophelia, just you in the bar. The bartender looks at you and goes, Miss Ophelia, we'll be shutting down soon. You stay any longer?
I understand.
Let's go
I'm gonna
prepare.
pull out my cane.
Of course, there's no rush. It's just early morning to open up things. Trying to get a new work schedule going on for the employees here. They like earlier days. Let them have more time in the evenings.
She will turn to the door, tap the cane, and disappear to everyone's vision.
At this point in time, you're maybe like 25 yards from the door, Kaylin, and you see Ophelia kind of just woof, appear outside in like maybe like 20 feet from the door's entrance, in the middle of the sidewalk. The two of you kind of almost lock eyes for a moment as this late at night, about this point in time, there are very few people out and about, so it is mainly just you two that are on this street at this point in time.
Perfect timing.
Oh. I was just heading home.
Just seeing if you were still here. I've got some horrible news, I guess.
Was there a murder?
Yes. Actually. By that killer that Clive is going after killed his friend, Benny.
That's a shame.
But I have Axel. Axel's looking over him, and Yamcha went home, so we'll probably, I'm sure most of them will reconvene in the morning.
Hopefully everything is still simple in the morning.
Anyways, let's start heading back.
How far of a walk is home, Gabe?
For the two of you, I'll let you pick actually. Where do you want home to be in the city?
Oh
Lord.
my
Are we
gosh.
I mean, yeah.
I'm feeling like we get somewhere really...
Where do you want to live?
It would be your place. It would have been your place.
You get it,
You're the one-
house
you're the
shopping.
integrated war general.
House shopping.
Oh, just like a real married couple.
Yeah, where do y'all want to live?
Let's
You guys both have to agree to get the real marriage RP correct. You guys both have to agree where you where you go to.
I feel maybe somewhere down here.
Along the wall.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
Oh, they agreed. All
How
right.
far is that, Gabe?
About 8 miles.
Yeah, I'm taking the easy route.
That's a walk and a half.
This is something that I've definitely done before in front of you. So when I say this, you're going to understand it.
Okay.
Do you really want to walk back home, or do you want to take the easy way?
I
Which
guess
implies
I'm
gonna
it's
teleport
getting
us.
late. It's getting late. We just get there.
Without another word, I tap my cane using 8 charges for teleport.
The cane, and that same kind of clacking of the cane against stone, you blink and you are inside of the living room of your home.
I don't
World-
think I'll ever get used
The
to
world
that.
kind of distorts and shifts and then returns back to where everything should be in the place. The faint flash of magic beneath your feet dims almost instantaneously.
Hopefully you never do get used to it, because that means I'll be doing it too often.
That's true. I also like running, so there's nothing wrong with using the good old legs sometimes. Okay. Well, I'm sure I'll see you in the morning, unless you leave before me.
Perhaps. It depends on how the reports turn in.
Two of you begin to bed down for the evening. We jump to, before we go to Yamcha, we jump to Clive and Axel as you arrive at Clive's residence. Your guards are somewhere around, you can hope by now, Axel. You told them to be on standby nearby, but you don't see them currently at the very moment. Unless you roll perception, you do not see them upon passing glance. But the two of you do arrive at Clive's residence. A very quiet side of town. Very open. 14. Let's check. Is my rolls, are they whispered? They are whispered. Pop, pop. There it is. Close, but you do not see them.
Good.
The two of you arrive here. Clive, you walk up to your doorstep, unlock it. What do the two of you do in this moment as...
I appreciate you accompanying me.
No problem, friend. No problem. Once again, my condolences for Benny.
Much obliged. You gonna be alright? Heading home?
I'll be fine. I have guards waiting for me. But if I need to, I can defend myself. But I'm not really the type for violence.
I try not to be either. See how that goes though.
Roll me an
You take
insight check, the two of you, real quick.
Insight.
Yes. This is it. Oh, good rolls. It
Damn.
wasn't a high DC. This is just to ascertain a general scope of, I guess, danger in this moment, as both of you
Oh, shit.
discuss violence and self-defense. While, of course, the two of you, narratively speaking, are of a higher standing experience than Benny was, it was not by much. In out-of-game terms, Benny was level 12, compared to you all being level 15.
Dang.
So whoever was able to dismantle Benny like that is someone capable of at least posing a threat to people around your skill level. A significant one.
Jesus.
And at this point in time, when you're discussing this defense of yourself and generally your ability to fight if need be, this bit of recollection dawns on the both of you.
I'll be fine now.
Okay.
Make sure you keep your guards nearby at least.
It's not a bad idea.
Alright.
I just need a little bit of time alone, I think.
I think we all do after that. I didn't know Benny much, but I've met him before, and I will say he was a nice person to talk to.
But yeah. A lot of people say that. I'm gonna head in for the nap, though. You get some rest yourself, Axel.
Now, Axel, where would you like to live in the city?
Oh, I get to pick my place of living?
I didn't let Skylar pick. I should have done that, but I thought it made sense for him to be in a more open area, so I picked all the... Oh, wrong one. You know what? My bad, Skylar. You're up here. I was trying to pick the more open area, because I think that makes more sense.
Hell yeah. Appreciate that.
Where do I usually work at anyway?
You guys all work where Yamcha is currently at the Adjunct Spire. So you're currently up here. Which ironically is nearest to your larger branch. Not you, Axel. Clive, you're next to the Service Spire, which is where Civil Service obviously operates out of. But you don't work with them directly, but technically it is like the head of whatever department you need to be a part of if they ever called you in to help with anything. But where would you live, Axel?
Man, I would like to be like right here, somewhere in the middle or something, you know?
Sure. See enough. Your guards, you can assume, are still nearby. Adjutant Mind goes, Adjutant Mind goes to you, Clive. Whenever you'd like your guards brought to your location, please let me know, but I will give you some space. And as diminished as his presence usually is, it kind of shrinks even smaller away from being present in your mind at this point, Clive.
You can send whenever, I suppose. Appreciate it.
Actually, you begin the trek back home, passing
I'll
by.
let my guards know that I'm happy for their presence now, pretty much.
And you head back home as well. We jump now to Yamcha in the Adjunct Spire. You arrive back in your little... There are places to sleep for you all in the Spire, should you ever... Of course, you need to stay overnight while working, so you do arrive in your small lab, Yamcha. And as you arrive in the, I guess, open space with all of your equipment and your notes in your journal, you begin to feel almost like an unintended or unconscious rage begin to boil up within you. Something raging, and an angry, unnatural wave kind of washes away the fatigue you were feeling and the alcoholic inebriation they were experiencing from tonight and from the past weeks. The affliction you had felt yesterday or earlier this morning, you can feel it surfacing in this moment. That same kind of throbbing of your head, the shifting of like hues of color in things you're looking at, the pumping of blood beneath your veins is all prominent. The blood is hot beneath your skin. You can feel it. Because you had failed the last saving throw, I need you to roll me a perception check first, please. Yes, please.
What's...
Or investigation. I'll say your choice.
Normal.
7. You try and take in any changes to yourself, as the last time that blood had trickled from your nose. You don't see it now or feel it now, but something just feels a bit off about you. You feel different somehow, and you can't ascertain why. And as you're investigating yourself, the doors to your chamber open, and you see a dark silhouette in the frame, kind of blotted out by the light behind them at their back. And they kind of step into the room.
Can I help you?
Oh, it's just me, Yamcha. You see, one of your attendants is in the room. Their uniform is that of a generic kind of Aradnian government worker. This one is usually assigned to bring you food or drink whenever you come to work. But for some reason this moment, seeing the symbol of the Aradnian Empire on their attire angers you deeply, and you're not entirely sure why.
Why don't you knock? Like, I've asked you several times, like, why don't you knock? Like, you scared the shit out of me just now.
I'm sorry, I just noticed your arrival, and I thought you might be hungry or thirsty before you worked.
No, I appreciate it, but please, next time, could you please, like, knock or give me some invitation?
Of course.
What happened, because, you know, it's been a little tense tonight, I want to say, and I don't feel like this right now. I don't feel like this right now.
Of course, apologies, Lady Miss Yamcha. I apologize entirely for... Right. Can I put the tray of food and drink down? I'll be taking my leave. If you need anything, please feel free to contact me.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
As they begin to walk out, the door opening again behind them, you begin to wobble on unsteady legs for a moment, and you kind of had to catch yourself on one of the nearby pieces of furniture in the room. And at this point, after that brief outburst, you wipe at your nose, feeling something warm running down from beneath it, and see that same kind of hot gray ichor dotting not only the floor and the tail, but part of your hand now, as you begin to dab at it for a second subconsciously. it once again sticks like tar to both your hand and the surfaces. I need a Constitution saving throw, please.
Ugh, it's another problem.
Oh no! It is not your day for rolls. The pain and this unsteadiness grows. Your head thrums like a drum, like a beating of a drum, kind of rhythmically.
Ugh.
It is very unbearable. The pain, so much so that when your eyes open next, you're laying on a bed in what you consider to be the medical suite.
No. I need to get back to work. What's
One of the
happening?
medical attendants rushes into the room from a station just outside and just goes, "No, Lady Domshire, you got to stay down for now. We believe you're passed out due to exhaustion. So,
Exhaustion? I was just fine. I don't understand.
your attendant found you in your room after you had not come out for some time. It had been about, as you kind of look over at one of the nearby clocks, you have been, when you arrive back at the assembly spire to your room, it was maybe about 11 o'clock or so at night. Looking at the nearest clock to you, it is almost 3 o'clock in the morning now, at this point in time. You've been out for
You
nearly
can't be kidding me.
nearly 4 hours, or not 4, nearly 3 to 4 hours. We ran some tests to make sure you were not afflicted by a poison, and we didn't notice anything. We think it's just exhaustion. However, there was an odd peculiarity with your blood and body temperature when we did some tests.
Oh, okay, but I was supposed to call Axel last night. Can you get him back to me, or like, what's going on there?
We can reach out to Axel in time, yes, but you should really have your health investigated a bit more. There were some specks of like grey that mixed or clung to cells of your blood when we did tests on you. Additionally, your body temperature is far too warm for the type of heritage you have.
Ah, wonderful.
So
Not a problem.
please come to us for checkups whenever you feel dizzy spells or ill by any means, if you do not mind.
Okay. I'll just go back to sleep for now. Do you have any water, perchance?
Of course. And they kind of walk up to a station and hand you a glass of water. You're welcome to sleep here until the morning, and we'll call your assistant to come escort you back to your office area after you depart from here.
Alright, thanks.
Not a problem. Everyone gets a long rest. You can all now press the long rest button as everyone gets one.
We...
If anyone has any spells they need to change or prepare, now would be a good time to do so.
I'm scared that you said that.
I mean, I'm just like, some people are prepared to cash in this group, so I just want to make sure that they knew that this is the time to change or repair spells.
Go.
Where'd you go? You good? Something happened?
Go.
What was that?
Go.
Oh, hell no. But yes. We will... Yeah, we'll kick things off with Kayleen. You're first to awaken. And you awaken a bit earlier than you are used to, as Adjunct Mind pings your head for a moment and tells you, apologies for waking you so early, Lady Kayleen. However, let me change the music now because I'm done doing sort of stuff. Not that wrong person. You.
Lady.
I missed the names up. I missed the names up. It's supposed to be Ophelia, not Kayleen. You're fine. You're fine, Kayleen. You're asleep. Okay, sorry. All right, for that I'll definitely get inspiration.
Yeah.
You get inspiration. You get inspiration. I'm sorry. You get inspiration. Lady Ophelia, Ophelia, you are awoken. I mixed the names up because you're in the same house. Ophelia, you are awoken a bit earlier than usual by Adjunct One, who goes, "Apologies for waking you early this morning, but lady. I don't think you're cool with the adjunct mind like that, so they will call you Miss Ophelia. Miss Ophelia. However, you have been summoned for an inquiry by the ministry."
Regarding?
Your connection with the... Let me check the name before I get it wrong. Let me check my name before I get it wrong. I love checking my names. The Celestial Renegades, I believe.
Alright. Plot me the fastest route.
From where you are, Ministry Spire.
Beep beep.
It's a bit far. No, that's about right. No, yeah. About this is about 20 miles away. If you'd like, I can have you taken to one of the teleportation nexus points for you to utilize for the spire.
That would do.
This is I should have brought this is again since it's been a while. Between the spires, there are not between them, but in each of the main spires, there are, except for the high chamber, there are teleportation circles that lead to each of these major locations. You can teleport into them and teleport out of them, teleport into them, not out of them. However, there are certain military checkpoints that allow you to go to them as well. So, technically speaking, you could use your staff to teleport yourself to the Ministry Spire. You just have to get proper, access from the Ministry before doing so, if you wish to do that. There are circles.
Not worth all my charges right now, but...
Okay. In that case, you find, I'd say it's maybe like a 20-minute walk before you eventually find yourself at like a small military garrison-type building that you enter. They see you. They see your officious attire, your symbology, or symbology. Yeah, your symbology indicating your rank and stature in Aradness. They walk up to you. Can we assist you, assembly member? Do you require military action by any means by the garrison?
No. I just need travel.
To?
Oh gosh. Wait, it just happened. Wait, where'd it go? Gabriel, where do they want me to go? Oh, I
it.
I need access to the Ministry Spire and I've been summoned.
Understood. You are taken to a small room with a circle of teleportation in there. They wait a few minutes before they ask you to step on board the platform, and in a flash, you are brought to the Ministry Spire. You're on one of the lower levels, and upon arrival, you hear Ministry Mind speak in your head. Miss Ophelia, welcome to the Ministry Spire. I will have you escorted to your meeting chambers.
Alright.
A pair of larger soldiers walk up and begin to lead you up to one of the upper platforms, to which you find yourself in almost want to say like a courtroom of sorts within this place. Or at least in appearance, not actually a courtroom, but in appearance courtroom. There is a central dais where you see Lanoth and a few other ministry officials sitting, looking down at the center of the room, and you see that the rest of the room beyond Lanoth and Regulus and a few other figures is empty. Lanoth looks down to you and goes, Ophelia, good morning to you.
Hello,
You have been summoned, as you can assume or were told, in regards to your knowledge of the Celestial Renegades, and as such, I would like you to just have a seat. I believe the topic of discussion shall be arriving shortly.
Right.
Yes. You plenty of seats to sit down at. You can sit anywhere that you'd like, except for, of course, up where they are sitting, because all these are full. But you find a seat to rest at until eventually the doors open. And entering the room, you see Z. She walks in, pulling someone behind her. A badly injured, chained, but alive celestial figure is dragged behind Z's large frame before being swung around and tossed in the center of the room. They tumble a few feet before rolling to their side and slowly rising onto both knees, their mess of hair drenched with sweat and silver ichor. Ophelia, roll me insight. It is not a high DC, but this is just upon or actually rather, what is your passive insight? Just 10 plus your insight score.
Passively, insight a 16.
16. 16. You recognize this figure as they are put before you in this room. Z begins to speak. Before you now is a leader of the Celestial Renegades. He was camped out near my outpost. Even sent a few agents to try and kill me in my sleep, but I took care of them with ease. However, I believe if we can get this one to agree to a ceasefire, the campaign will come to an end before the summit. And she looks to you. Hence why we need you here, Ophelia. You might be able to speak their language and get them to come to terms and with us regarding things. And as your name is spoken, the man lifts their head, swooping the hair back behind their face, revealing someone you thought long dead, as you see there in the center of the room, beaten and bloodied, bound in chains that restrict any and all abilities of this creature, is your father, alive. And as he takes in the room, as he was going to take in the room, he instead locks eyes with you, and his eyes widen, his brows raising in sort of shock.
It is good to see you in health, Father.
As he kind of looks you, right, Father, looks at you, Father, and looks up to Lynoth. Lynoth, paying no mind to your remark, goes, "Speak, Celestial. State your name and the objective of your little insurrection. Perhaps we can come to some sort of agreement and, in due time, give you access to your daughter." Kind of an eye now going to you, Ophelia. Celestial looks back. Your father takes a moment, leaning on you, looks back from you toward Lynoth's voice and spits on the ground. Z immediately, almost in that same instance, knees him across the jaw, and he falls to the ground, kind of coughing for a second. As you can see, all things considered, surprisingly, he's not in any mood to talk. I came here, 1, to show defiance, and 2, to request assistance by Ministry Intelligence, and I guess now Ophelia, in assisting with his interrogation. Well, looks to you for a moment, Ophelia. If you would be comfortable with as such, your assistance would be greatly appreciated.
All right.
Lynoth looks back to Z. At this point, your father has risen back to his knees. Approved. End this conflict as soon as possible. We will inform intelligence that no actions are off the board when it comes to making this man talk and comply. Ophelia, you are free to do and discuss what you wish with your father, but do understand that security of Aradnus does come first regarding what you choose to relay or detail to them. Z smiles and nods. Then she picks up your father by the back of like his neck, kind of grabbing him by that part of the skin, and carries him out of the room. His eyes remaining fixed on you, Ophelia, the entire way out, as there's a mixture of confusion, anguish, and longing on his face. You swear, with your passive insight, he even tries to beckon you to follow him, but it may very well have been an off rhythm swing of his arms as Z hauls him away, his weakened body kind of dragging behind him for the doors close behind them. Now looks at you and goes, "Apologies, I was not sure this, or was not certain of who this individual was before the meeting, but if you are discomforted by it being family, you are not required to speak with them regarding anything."
I understand. I would hope that he would see how much better things could be. But knowing my father, he is so stubborn that even death seems to have escaped him when I thought him far gone.
Give us at least a day or two to work with him. Or, no. I will inform you of when Ministry Intelligence is done, grabbing any preliminaries they can from him. And then from there you'll be given access to him. It could be a couple of days, it could be a couple of weeks, but you will be given access to the Celestial Man, your father, in time. You are dismissed, Ophelia. And thank you for your time.
I will silently take my leave.
At this point in time, Kayleen, you awaken in your home. Ophelia at this point has been gone way earlier than usual. She usually is awake around the time, or awake and leaving around the time you wake up. But by the time you awaken, she has already vacated the area, the home. There's no sound of her getting prepared. No, it's usually almost like clockwork. She wakes up, and by the time she's walking past the doorway while you're standing up, by the time you're standing up out of the bed, she is walking past the doorway to leave the house, and it's the exact same time every day. But today it is different. She is already gone, and you don't hear any sound of her within the residence.
Interesting. Used to had important matters in the morning. Early. I'll get ready to leave, I guess.
All right.
'Cause I want to go talk to that guy I talked to before. About the military stuff.
You begin to make your way toward the Ministry Spire. At about the time, Ophelia, how are you departing this spire? Are you walking back from the Ministry Spire to the Adjunct Spire, or are you going to try and see if they can teleport you to your location as well from their building?
I want more time to think about what just happened, so I will take the walk purely to give myself more time away from my work.
Okay. We're going to jump to you in a second here, Kayleen. We jump over to, at this point in time, Axel, you awaken in your residence at about this point in time. And oddly enough, you awaken in your residence about this point in time. And it is about at this point.
So I awaken.
It is about at this point in
Oh
time
my
as you're getting
gosh.
up and looking out your window, taking the day, that you would see Ophelia passing by your window, almost on cue with you awakening.
Well, Axel will get ready. I will say that.
Okay, you begin to get ready for the day. For the
And then he
morning.
will head out.
Hopefully, as you are taking the long way back to the spire, you do know that you'd pass by Axel's residence. You begin to continue walking. Beyond that, nothing else happens this morning. You're able to get breakfast if you'd like, or food or drink of any other kind. Axel, you'll be about 30 minutes behind Ophelia. We jump now over to Clive as you awaken in your residence. If you slept at all, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Then you do awaken your residence, probably having 6 but you are a full elf, correct? Or are you a half elf?
Full of.
Okay, in that case, only 4 hours of sleep, I believe, for your long rest. Was it 6 hours? I think it's 4.
I believe it's.
It's been so long since I've seen elves.
Where the hell do you check that?
Fey Ancestry Trance. 4 hours. So I'd say, because you got home at about 11, you most likely were awake until about 2 o'clock before you eventually did your actual long rest.
Yeah.
So you wake up at about this point in time, having finished. Or rather, you probably woke up earlier, correct? You probably woke up earlier than... about the time Ophelia woke, we probably would have been awake at the exact same time, about 4 o'clock in the morning or so.
Okay.
So... or I guess I'll say 5 o'clock, because you got home at 11, about an hour or 2 to wind down, awake by 4, yeah. So you awake about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. What would your morning routine have been before making your departure today? As you awaken with still the bit of solace in your mind, knowing that adjunct mind is not fully there, diminished even further than typical.
Probably just. Somberly, little daily routine of just getting ready in the morning until probably just getting out, kind of holding the wooden bullet Benny made for Clive and quietly just put it on and head on out.
All right.
Really no expression on his face, just going through the motions, so to speak.
Then you will arrive at the spire a bit before Ophelia. We jump over to Kayleen at the Ministry Spire at this point in time. Actually, no, before that, I got one person that's over at the spire. Yamcha, you awaken in the medical room to seeing, or to rather feeling that same heat beneath your skin still. The pain in your head is gone. The dizziness feels to have worn off. However, you do still feel that kind of heat and that odd feeling to your overall skin texture itself, almost like it's... Roll me another perception check, actually. I'll say.
All right.
Gotta make all the rolls today. She's gonna do 100% of the rolls today. Will be Sophie.
No.
13. It is your skin, of course. At this point in time, for resting, getting time to recover and regain focus in your senses, there's almost like a... your skin looks the same still, but you feel almost like a harder, almost scale-like texture to your skin as you begin to rub your hand over it.
Oh.
Only on, like... It is very off-putting at times. Like, it feels smooth upon touch, like still like skin, but if you try and like dig your nail into it, it kind of almost stops, like there's scale there.
What the fuck?
As you awaken and begin to speak, knowing that this affliction is gotten to this point, the knowledge of this solution need to be soon coming to your mind. You've been aware that it was getting worse for a bit of time. It had never taken any leaps or bounds, but you think it's more that perhaps something is making the affliction take a heavier toll on your body than prior. You think that only perhaps in further research and perhaps assistance from the Truth Seekers will you find a feasible resolution. As this thought comes to your mind as you're getting your bearings, sitting up, a Truth Seeker, the one sent to be your assistant, walks in the room preparing to escort you with, as you're told by the nurse, preparing to escort you back to the main meeting room of the Adjunct Assembly. And this is your assistant, Kay, who I will showcase on the screen. They are the Truth Seekers here. Character token is your assistant, Kay, currently, who is... typically focuses on assistive research of general. He's a journal, almost like a jack of all trades researcher of sorts.
Okay.
That is assisting you in this moment. Look to you and go, You okay, Yamcha? I heard that, you weren't feeling too well.
Well, remember those flares I used to have, like, constantly? Well, they never really went away.
You never had to go to the medical before, though. Did something change? Diet?
Well, the last time that I remember something, like, big happening was last night, but it was so, like, it was pretty overwhelming hearing the news about our friend passing away and then everything else, and I feel like something's taking a hold of me for some reason. Ever since the accident, I've been feeling like everything's gonna crumble down on me, and I feel this burning sensation, and I feel so angry. I don't know what to do.
Hey, alright, calm down. I know things are very stressful, but that's what we're working on. We're working to find a solution for this. Your research may have hit a hard or a stone wall, but there might be something we can do about this. Possibly. And that's, I mean, I was going to come get you later today about this, but I was told to come escort you back to the assembly spot. However, regarding finding out any other information or finding any other leads or possibilities for your problem, there is action being taken by the ministry to take on the third Aegis, you might have heard during the meeting, I'm told. There might be a way to get you direct contact with dragon worshippers and those that have connection to draconic lineages and sciences, possibly, because of the action being taken against the third Aegis.
I see. Well, when is this happening? Is it happening now? Is everyone in a meeting now?
I don't know all the details, but I know that at least it's spreading pretty fast that your associate, your friend Kayleen, is leading the offensive against the third Aegis, which means that you'll run into some remnants of the Jorhassian society where if your research is at this level where it is now, they were the stepping stone that got you to this point regarding their sciences. If you can find more people from Jorhas that know about this draconic evolution or science you're looking into, they might be able to maybe find a cure for the affliction if it's related to anything draconic. I mean, it all began then, so that's our working theory.
I see. I guess I'll head over as soon as I can. I mean, the nurse told me that I shouldn't be too hasty, but I
Well,
need to go.
they're kicking you out now. That's why I'm here.
I see. Slept that long, huh?
You've been out way longer than you're usually out for. But I'm here to walk you back. It's only a few floors up, so we can talk about plans and theories on the way there. I'll get your lab. Oh, well, I already got your lab set up, and I think you should speak to Kayleen whenever he shows up about this campaign against the Aegis. You might be able to tag along and learn something.
Okay. Thank you. I'll be sure to make a note about it.
Of course. Just whenever you're ready, I'll be outside the room waiting for you.
Okay. I get my clothes together and I put on my hat and I make sure that all my scales are hidden before I leave the room.
Oh, they're imperceptible almost. Your skin looks the exact same. It feels like it's reinforced. Like it is still normal skin, but it feels reinforced.
I feel really insecure about it, so I'm always wanting to hide it even if it's not visible.
Your armor class, even while not wearing armor, has been changed. I will whisper it to you, and I'll actually set it up for you. I don't believe you're currently wearing armor as it is, but I will. You do get an armor class increase because you have sort of draconic-ish protection and scales protecting your body, so your AC, and I will adjust it.
Thank you.
Let me grab that. And plus. Oops. Custom formula. So I'm looking at the number. I gotta put it in manually. I forgot to do it earlier. I put it in manually. Abilities dot. Add abilities. Oh. Abilities dot con. There we go. Not a huge increase, but your AC does increase by 1 overall from having this, from going from a 12 to a 13 as you do now incorporate your Constitution modifier in your armor class as a whole.
Alright.
So, you feel a bit more defended from overall attacks. And again, it still feels natural, feels like your skin to the touch, but it is far more resilient than it was before.
Okay.
And you begin to make your way out of the room, you and Kay heading up the stairs toward the main assembly room. We'll come back to all of you meeting up in a second here, as all you'll get there at about within half an hour each other at different times. So it'll be around 6 o'clock to 6:30 to 7 o'clock to some of you. But Kayleen, you arrive at the Ministry Spire and immediately are led up toward Lanos' office, which actually is a map for his office.
Whoa.
Yeah, I shall find it again. I've not had his office. There we go. Toggle navigation. Lanos' office, which is where the hell to go. I said toggle navigation. Thank you. Lanos' office. We go. You arrive, and I'll move you to the map for the office, Kayleen, and pull to see Devin. There we go. There you go. You see these two in here are discussing currently with Lenoff at his desk, and as you enter, this figure here turns and strolls out with purpose. Looks at you for a second, and goes, I will talk to you later. We have things to discuss, I feel. Allergies and then they continue. It's very much fast. It's almost like you can assume the way while their mouth moved, it was not a full sentence, but you heard the voice in your head, like almost like a spell of some kind. And they kind of nod as a part of that same casting the spell. You can assume they do, and then they walk out of the room. Kayleen, what may I do for this morning? And actually, you are, ironically enough, right on time.
I'm gonna walk up. I think I might have some plans for this war, but I need possibly a small scouting group to find where any entrances are to these homes that they use.
Well, to have a small scouting party, you would need a skilled commander to assist in your absence from either the front lines or from the Citadel, hence why I'd plan on calling you a bit later on, but let me introduce you to, just to the person sitting at the desk, Leyland Hoss. They are, unlike you, not a rising star, but a young commander that has seen good success in their endeavors. They will be assigned as your second in command for this operation, this campaign. Lane looks to you and goes, a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Kayleen. Sir. Commandant, well, how should I address you?
You can just call me Kayleen. It's so nice to meet you as well.
Right. He puts a hand out to shake your hand.
I shake his hand very firmly with a tight grip.
I don't think he's as strong as you are. He's not as strong as you are. So he returned the shake. It is not as firm, but I mean, he's a much more lithe individual. You see? So you do out handshaking this man with the firmness, and he goes, "Your reputation is admirable and very inspiring, Kayleen. I look forward to working alongside you, and I will do my best to assist you in all your endeavors." Well,
I nod.
looks back to you. As your second, if you have any tasks that you want to trust a seasoned commander to assist you in, Leyland here will be a good second. Regarding your request for a small strike team, this can be arranged. Of course, it will take some work convincing the Ministry to relinquish more veteran forces for this task. However, if I put the request in, I doubt they will have much pushback at all, in my opinion. You are certain, though...
Oh,
Sorry, continue. I took a sip of water because I was getting cotton mouth.
You were done talking, so...
There you go. You can talk first. I'll do anything after. I was getting cotton mouth. I take a sip of water. You can speak first.
I have some possible notes for this group as well, mainly if they find any of the locations of those 3 higher people we've discussed and stuff like that we should be let known immediately, because I feel like dealing with one of them could send any of this war in a different direction.
Be very cautious when dealing with the monarchs, Kayleen. I understand you are a very skilled and veteran warrior, but they are comparable to very strong people above your weight class, as it would seem. You may be able to buy... You're good. You may be able to buy yourself time to flee or perhaps even injure them, but we recommend wholeheartedly, if all possible, avoid direct confrontation with one of the monarchs. Regardless, your attempt to send a strike team to the tunnels, you are certain this will yield positive results.
I feel like I would think so. I mean, learning of just even their locations could be a huge advantage to us.
Then I will
Even
see
if
it
it's
done.
only a small amount.
If I can allocate at least 50 to 100 men, that'll have to do, but I will see it done. They will be veterans of previous campaigns that specialize in infiltration and isolated activity. If they are outnumbered or surrounded, though, their numbers are diminutive and will not serve you all too well. But for scouting exclusively, this force... Excuse me?
Luna.
This... for scouting exclusively, this unit should serve you well. And, of course, depending upon how you wish to tackle this infiltration, you could use Leyland or you should keep him by your side. I'm not certain if you wish to risk your second in command on their first mission with infiltration. And Leyland looks, whatever my commandant commands me to do, I will accomplish, sir. Off nods his head. Very earnest, this boy. Treat him well, Kayleen. If you train him and show him the ropes, I'm certain he will become someone of equal potential to you one day. Leon's eyes almost kind of sparkle with stars for a moment hearing this. His shoulders rise a bit, chin lifts. Is there anything else I can assist you with,
Great.
Kayleen? Any information you require?
Not at the moment, I guess. That was the major thing that I guess I needed to talk to you about for now.
I'm gonna have... Roll me a D100, and before you roll it, just say higher or lower, please.
Fire.
Alright. He goes, before you depart, there is one individual that would benefit you in dispatching, whether lethally or non-lethally, alongside the defeat of their Field Marshal Cantello. His second is a very proud and devastating warrior. They call her Callisto. If you engage her in combat, be sure to defeat her by any means. Even if Cantello cannot be captured, the loss of a powerful warrior and trusted second would greatly diminish his morale and combat effectiveness, leading perhaps to his eventual capture in the future.
Hit my note page. There we go.
There we go. That's what he said to you right there, just so you know who it is. The both of you are dismissed. Leyland, you have your tasks. Go meet your soon-to-be Legion, Leyland, and handle the logistics before Kayleen arrives. Kayleen, leave the small bits and pieces of preparing for departure to Leyland. If you have any direct issues or tasks to allocate, you may then intervene, but enjoy your time in the Corps while you have it. You'll be gone for quite some time beyond returning for the meetings and the summit. Now, if you'll excuse
I
me.
nod and then walk out.
Yeah, he's now, if you'll excuse me, he begins to write something down on a piece of paper. Leyland and you begin to both exit the room. He looks at you and goes, I'll do my best, Kayleen, to assist, and hopefully, in due time, maybe drinks, if I earn a spot in your trusted circle.
Possibly. I have some notes written down that probably won't work, but we'll see. My plans for this raid, I guess war more than a raid, for how many people we are sending.
With you in charge, I'm certain that this will be a quick and swift conflict with Third Aegis. I've heard great things about your decorated history, and I've researched plenty and looked into plenty of your operations and the hurdles you've accomplished. I was chosen not only for my aptitude as a up-and-coming commander, but also because of my knowledge of how best to work alongside you. Oh, I forgot. In case you didn't see his actual, I know you can kind of see it, but in case you can't fully see the token for Leyland. Leyland. You do see he does have like a dagger sheathed on like his upper thigh area that looks to glow with almost radiant light constantly while it's sitting there. But it appears to be the only weapon he has beyond, of course, the breastplate beneath the large kind of overcoat or poncho he's wearing currently.
My gravity hammer's just sitting on my back.
Yeah, you got like fucking like clipped over one of your shoulders, and you just grab and swing.
Yeah.
Both of you walk out, and he gives you a salute. Kurt head nod and heads off down an opposite direction, further into the ministry building as you begin to make your way out of the building as a whole. Where to now, Kayleen?
I'm gonna guess that probably everybody's in the Edge and Spire, so I'm just gonna start meandering that direction. Or maybe I'll try and find that guy that said he needed to talk to me later first.
Okay. Shut up, Divine.
Behind. What are you doing?
You begin to look at this individual. You, just roll me a general perception check, and that'll be... It's to determine how many... I'll say, like, not hours, but about how long it takes you to find will be just the perception check. 3. All right. It'll take you about an hour to find him, which gives plenty of time because we jump now at about this point in time to the rest of the group in the Adjunct Spire. The first one that would be in this building would be Clive, followed closely behind by Ishmael and Ophelia, who walk in about the same time. Within about half an hour of you two, walks in Yamtra, who you see is being escorted by her assistant Kay, who veers off as she walks in the room, and at about that same time, Axel walks in. Everyone is present except for Kayleen currently. Ishmael looks to you all, sees the general, I guess, vibe people, and just goes, "Was it a rough night for you all? You look like you're not well rested.
You can say that again.
Did you drink too much?"
It was more of the crash and burn afterwards.
And they look, Ishmael looks at the rest of you all in the room to, like, taking in each of your faces. I have more insight. Ishmael. Insight. He looks to you all, kind of takes in the group's faces and goes, "Something happened more than drinks last night. What's going on with you all?"
Is it even the right time to discuss this thing?
It's not exactly my situation to explain.
Oh, is Skylar still gone? He said be right back. I'm not sure he's back yet.
Must not be back yet.
Yeah, he never said back. Usually he says back when he's back. He didn't say back yet. Alright, well. Kind of looks at Clive, seeing Clive being the most quiet of this group, and goes, "When he's ready to talk, I guess he'll talk." And he kind of goes sit at the station and begins to write. Axel. He dead as hell. Divine died. He said boom shakalaka. He said boom shakalaka and vanished. That's crazy.
I'm trying to multitask. I'm trying to help my dad get into his Facebook account.
Oh. I was like, he said boom shakalaka and despawn.
Yeah. Boom shakalaka. Yes, God.
As you all sit in the Adjunct Spire, it is a day of work for most of you. We're going to come back to you all when Skylar gets back.
Yeah, just send me a link.
You're good. We're going to come back. We'll come back to you all when Skylar gets back. It also should give Divine some time to handle the Facebook thing. So.
That guy's not helping me out. This guy literally just giving me links and telling me to do it myself, pretty much.
Divine.
Yeah.
We're gonna jump back to Kayleen real quick while you handle that and while we wait for Skylar to get back. So we're gonna come right back to you guys. Kayleen, about an hour of looking around the Ministry Spire before you eventually spot this individual again. They are kind of in one of the smaller side corridors. They are also, more noticeably, in a wing exclusively reserved for Ministry intelligence as a whole, separately. This is where basically the Ministry's, essentially the Iranian CIA is located in its wing.
Damn.
And you see them kind of walking down the corridor talking to someone currently.
Can I even go in here?
I mean, you can walk in, but this is you would know this is the wing where the official Ministry intelligence operatives kind of work.
Yeah, I guess I'll just like walk to try and get into his vision.
You
So I'm
walk.
just screaming out loud.
Hey! You walk forward, and he does see you, and he kind of waves the person off. They kind of look to you for a second and kind of tuck whatever they're holding in their chest a bit closer, kind of keep concealed, and then they walk off further down the hallway. And this individual walks up to you, and will just state to you simply, I know we've not met before, but the name is Demetrius, Ministry Intelligence. A pleasure to meet you, Kayleen. I'm aware of who you are and of your accolades.
Pleasure to meet you as well.
Please, walk with me while we talk. And he gives a gesture for you to follow him deeper into the intelligence wing currently.
I will follow.
I have been, of course, as I mentioned before, following your escapades as a military operative for some time, and it is your record is very impressive, along with your personal ideals you hold as a soldier and individual as a person. I have the firm belief in a few things, namely in security and trust. I believe that due to your ideals and your history, military operations, that you could be someone very important to the iconography and idols of Aradnis's future, of this new era they're discussing. We have reason to believe that the people in these trying times, as we are reaching a sort of instability in... It is a very weird instability we find ourselves in, as there is a precipice we aim to break as a society. We will again enter a realm of instability once we make this new threshold for ourselves, and we have reason to believe and intel that the people need a military figure of the modern age that they can get behind. It is crucial to the morale of the ministry. The older figures are something akin to legends now, but the people need a hero, someone they can look to as an example and not as a story, if that makes any sense, of course.
Right.
The reason why I wish to speak to you is because, again, I specialize, like I said before, in security and trust. I wish to offer you the support of Ministry Intelligence in regards to your campaign against the Third Aegis. This will provide you an expedited link to any intelligence we gather on them. However, in exchange, when you inevitably gain a position within the administration as a member of the ministry, and you step above your rank as a adjunct assembly member, I would like you to provide Ministry Intelligence with more manpower and resources for the intelligence department. We are currently understaffed and cannot take on any major operations nor tantamount investigations that Aradnis desperately needs. For example, as I'm certain you were aware of, as you were present with Mr. Clive the other evening, such investigations as the one surrounding the murder of young Benny and many other figures of importance in recent years. We are not of the manpower nor resources to properly investigate nor follow up on most of these things. In exchange for us providing you direct access to our intelligence networks during your campaign, we simply ask that once you succeed in this, you aim for a role in the administration as a member of the ministry official, and allocate us more resources and manpower within your outreach, of course.
I feel like this sounds like a very fair deal. I'm gonna need as much information as possible, considering what I'm up against.
I will open up these hopefully fruitful negotiations by informing you that the Third Aegis, according to our reports, is beginning to amass raw materials and resources, presumably to further arm and enhance their military might. New weapons of a larger variety. We believe possible siege weaponry will be in play in the near future.
Hmm.
And with that, Demetrius kind of leans back from like whispering to you, stands up to his full height. I want you to be the one that guides the ministry into a better and more efficient tomorrow, Kayleen, and I believe you can do as such. There are certain facets of Aradness and its culture and its current ministry that need desperate change, and I wish to see to it that you accomplish many great things for the Empire. So I do hope this is a fruitful cooperation between the two of us.
I think it'll be fine. I believe the information will help us both, and hopefully stopping this third Aegis. It's not going to be easy.
Of course not. They hate Aradness with every fiber of their being. They'll do everything they can to see us defeated and destroyed, and they'll do everything they can to see you made an example of their prowess and power. And with our help, he gestures to himself, we'll see to it that the opposite happens, and that you are brought forward as a shining example of what Aradness can do when pushed to take action. You see him kind of snap his fingers. You had been walking in this hall with it. It was seemingly almost endless, you want to say. Like, you had been passing by almost the exact same doors every few minutes. He snaps his fingers, and the wall that you're walking... Like, as you're kind of around this bend to kind of continue walking further in, you are back at the entrance hall you were walking into when you first saw him. And you're back in the main lobby. And just simple security precautions. A pleasure speaking to you, Kayleen. I look forward to talking to you again.
Same to you. I'll walk off now, probably starting heading to the spire.
Yep, you can see he waits for you to walk away, turns around and heads further back into the ministry again. He tells me again. We jump back now, at this point in time, to the Adjunct Spire. Clive, you are brought back into focus by Ishmael asking the room, after taking everyone in, what happened last night. He said, it looks as though a lot more than a rough night of drinks happened to you all. What exactly happened? And Ophelia responded, it's not her place to discuss, and he looked almost directly to you at this point, Clive.
Got you. Sorry for the absence.
You're good.
Well, let's see. Benny was late for drinks. I got worried. He was later than he usually is. Tried calling him. No response. So I had to take it in my own hands and went over to his place, and by the time I got there, there was already guards and the such perusing the area. He was murdered by the figurehead killer I've been down there searching for.
Ishmael's head kind of
So
drops.
which one yet?
Ishmael's head drops as you continue to speak. At first, it was a look of horror that suddenly built on his face you described. Because just the day prior, you had talked with him and Axel about this very case, about how important figures are being targeted and how people should be on the lookout for security. So as the more you spoke, the horror on his face grew until his head kind of dropped towards the very end of this topic. And he goes, I am sorry to hear that, Clive. I did not work much with Benny, but when I did, he was very supportive of my endeavors. And if you need anything at all from me as a truth seeker, I will do my best to assist where I can, of course.
I appreciate it. I'll let you know. For now, I'm just gonna keep doing what I was doing. Try to get this piece of shit. I'm gonna be so frank.
Let's go.
They nod their head. And then take a seat at their station. We are going to move ahead in time. Is there anything any of you wish to do in the coming weeks here?
Yes. Make sure the report would have been written. Like within a day. So they would have a report of pretty much the idea of the whole.
Where's my report,
country.
Divine? Where's my report? You said you'd write me a report last session. Where's my report at? I was waiting for that.
Active because there was so much going on, bro.
You got more time. You can keep writing.
80 days.
I will say, what is... You can describe to me the report, and I'll make a roll today, but depending on what you actually write down later on, will determine what work actually gets done as a whole with the Truth Seeker's assistance. So what would the report detail? The report? 80 days! Oh my god, you're right!
80 days.
The report.
80 days.
80 days. So pretty much the information would be on is I need some so pretty much the report is basically my discovery of how it feels when I access this this magic. Best way to put it is magic. There's no other description for it. It's rather new because it's like I am accessing other me's is the best way to put it. It's hard to explain it, but I put it in a way of I would like at least a few others who have experiences with learning or trying to make different types of magics, as well as those who are who know of my work or who have some sort of connection to it, as well as who understand a little bit about Dunamancy.
Fuck this Dunamancy. This ain't Critical Role, baby.
That's true.
This ain't no goddamn Critical Role. You know goddamn
Alright,
Dunamancy here.
Alright.
The fuck is a Dunamancy?
Then I will say that has connection in magic similar to teleportation.
You can just say time magic. Time magic does exist.
Okay, time magic.
Yeah, they got time stop. They got slow. They're spells that.
That's true. Yeah,
like,
time magic. We'll do that.
Yeah, it's like people
Magic,
definitely can
time magic,
research
whatever
time.
you want to call it.
All right, roll me.
What is Dunamancy?
It's a Critical Role exclusive magic type that Matt Mercer made for his campaign.
You're right. Not my
Roll.
bad, bro. Yeah.
I'll say roll me persuasion. I'll give you advantage because you did get their attention during the meeting, and then depending on what the actual document is, whenever I get it later on, will determine who they send and how they go about helping you. But I can give you a little bit of information now depending on how well you roll with persuasion. So give me that. Oh wait, you can't get advantage. Never mind. Roll persuasion. Forget about your staff. You cannot get advantage with your staff. Persuasion. 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 Roll it. Roll it. Damn, roll
You
it.
know what? I've been
talking to
I've been
you.
rolling relatively low, so I think I'm gonna roll really high. You know, give me a sec. Hold on. Let me feel it. Let me feel it. 3. No. Right now. 3. Oh no! Right now. I'll hit it now.
I'm...
Yeah.
Damn.
Yikes. Oh, hold on. I might have to use this real quick.
Bro said not.
Nah.
I'm not posting this shit, bro. I got my ass played.
Bro's gonna use not my liking and undo the event. He's gonna-
This is not what I was expecting, bro. Oh my god, bro.
You can use your reaction and roll an additional 3d20 by using your monocle.
I'll do that, bro. I might have to, that jink was
That is
that jink was
crazy.
awful, bro.
Go ahead.
Nice.
Roll 3d20.
Sorry to tell y'all, bro, but that was not me. That did not happen to me, bro. That was a different timeline. Put my persuasion there. Yeah, that was a different timeline, bro. Man, I see other me's laughing at me right now, bro.
You get the whole multiverse laughing.
Avatars. Blaming his ass.
I'll roll with advantage and I'll roll an extra d20.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
Yo, whose timeline is
Bad.
All right.
There it is.
16 plus. So that means if on your next rolls are a 9 and a 1, just as a heads up. Those are your next 2 rolls that you have to use are a 9 and a 1.
Someone try to punch me and I'll roll a dexterity save. I'll give you that 1, bro.
With that roll, they do give you assistance. They recommend to you that if you have the time, they'd suggest going to one of the deep site research facilities they have around the fringe cities of Aradnus. They can dispatch truth seekers in the city, but if you want explicit help with this kind of research, you need to go to a deep site facility.
Interesting.
The nearest one to you, I'll move you to the world map. Or to the core, I guess. The nearest one to you would be out here.
Dang, bro. As far as heck, bro.
You, of course, don't have to go there. You can just work with people in the city if you'd like. However, of course, due to recent events, the only way to get out there currently would be to join Kayleen in his campaign and have him drop you off there in the midst of his military action. You can teleport there, but the safest way to go there, or I guess actually be not the safest way. The most interesting way to go there would be to join Kayleen because you'd be alongside allies, or you could have them teleport you to the facility directly and then make your way in there yourself, if you would like. But you would be out in the Deadlands, which are, to your knowledge, where the third ages are operating out of.
The third who?
The third. Pimp slap him.
I don't think this motherfucker listened to anything else.
The third Aegis is a large insurrection faction that comprises of 3 different groups that all hate Aradnus.
Yeah, all these guys always hating on me, bro.
They don't even know who you are. I don't even know who you are. So you could go there yourself and just trust in the security staff of the research facility to take care of you, or you could join Kayleen and have him drop you off and then pick you up later and take you back. It is completely your choice.
I might have to join Caitlin on this. I need some people. This is really good at like studies. And
Please, Kayleen, I need.
you know, as a
I need
player,
this.
as a player, and as a character. As a player, I really want to make a big impact, so I do want to go. As a character, he really wants to actually push this forward, so he would go. As much as I would love to stay and do an investigation like I'm freaking Sherlock Holmes with my boy, bro.
I mean, even if Kayleen goes out there for this campaign, he will have to return in about... Let me check my notes real quick. He has to return, guaranteed, in about a month or 2 for the second administration meeting in the High Chamber. So you'd only be out there for a month before Kayleen would bring you back.
Yeah, unless I teleport back.
Yeah, you can also teleport back whenever you want to, of course. That's if you travel exclusively with Kayleen.
So I will, but I will go with him. I will go on I will do the walk with them. I might teleport back, but I do the walk with them. And the reason why is because one, I don't think did I ever go there?
You've never been there. No.
Exactly. So I wouldn't even be able to teleport.
Deep site facilities are super secluded in private areas. They are where they send you guys and people of the truth seeking group are like top of your class, top of your field individuals. The people that go there are top of their field that don't want to be in the public eye.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go there. I'll do the walk there because I have no choice really. But until my character wants to broaden his horizons, seeing the world, maybe he might tap into something. So he'll ask Kayleen if he can go.
Well,
And
Kayleen,
they can drop him off
speaking
there.
of, at about this point in time, Kayleen, you arrive at the Adjunct Spire and walk into the room as the groups are, as people are at each of their different stations for the day, beginning to work. You arrive in the Adjunct Spire.
Oh, so he arrived where I'm at.
I mean, you're all there, which
Yeah,
both you, Yamcha, and you, Axel, both see Kayleen enter, and both of you have different reasons to speak with him about joining him on his campaign.
Kayleen, I need this.
His theory's kind of boundless.
Damn! But yes, the floor is yours as the entire assembly is now together in the spire currently.
I'm about to
Give me
hit
1 second. I need to go run to the bathroom real quick.
The puppy dog eyes.
With your shit.
Like, brother, you know we've been friends for so long.
Brother, you gotta hear me out here, brother.
You gotta hear me out, man. Look, I know it sounds bad.
I know it sounds bad.
Yeah, I hit him with the. Alright, I need you to take me with you on your campaign and drive me up here. What? I know
What?
it sounds bad.
Please,
What?
I need this.
My theory's kind of boundless.
And, you know, I asked for help and he said to go there.
Hey, bro, why is it a different timeline of you laughing, bro? That's disrespectful as shit, bro.
Different version of me laughing at my failed check I did earlier.
Hey, bro. I watch your time stream. Why not the one laughing at you, bro? That's disrespectful as shit.
Thought y'all were cool, damn.
I love how I make it that there's different timelines of me who like specialize in different things and we're just tuning into their knowledge.
Apologies.
Nah, bro, what's wrong with this guy, bro?
The one with Benny, there was actually a Sherlock of you know, like a Sherlock version of my boy, Axel.
Apologies. I have returned. Yes. We are in the
No.
spire. Okay, my fault. We are in the spire. What would everyone...
Oh yeah, I'm about to hit him with it. Ah, yes, my friend. I am so glad to see you. I actually have to ask you a favor.
What would that be?
You see, it just so happens like I wrote the report, and he said I need to go somewhere for my, you know, my theory. That's not really a theory at this point, because it's getting way too big to be a theory at this point. I need to go to the, what's the name of the place again?
It is... You want the exact name?
Yes.
Alright, I got you a second here.
They told me straight up where I need to go. Or what would recommend.
You're going to... this here.
I need to go to the Deep Set Research Facility, Deadlands, and within the Deadlands. It's right, actually, like right near your travel route, and I would like to join you if that is okay with you.
Do I know of this place?
I mean, you know they exist. You've never been to one.
Do I know that the Third Aegis would, like, mostly be in control of it?
It is an Aradnian facility. They have some security forces. There's no guarantee everywhere nearby it is secure, because they mostly stick to the inside of their building, but you have no clue. They're all around the Deadlands somewhere. They could be near there. They might not be. They could be watching it. They could have a whole attack force waiting nearby it. Like, it could be anything.
Okay.
You could put in a request with intelligence to gather some more intel before you depart if you'd like on that particular aspect. That'd be a decision you have to make
Yeah, I
yourself.
probably will. Let me write some notes.
You take out a journal, starts right.
Yamcha, you see, as Kayleen enters, Axel walked up to Kayleen and asked to join them on their journey, similar to how you were told to ask Caitlin to join him on this journey as well.
Oh my god, yes, of course, I'd love to. I was really looking for an excuse to leave my lab.
You see, as you're talking to Caitlin about going along to this on this campaign, almost like tagging on to your statement asking about tagging along or about joining, Yamcha just jumps on and goes, "I would love to go as well." Caitlin, two of your associates would like here to join you on your journey out to a war zone.
You both want to go out there, where I'm about to go start. Probably one of the biggest wars that's happened in a while.
I mean,
Yeah,
if any
it's
stray,
been pretty boring recently, you know?
yeah, and look, this is very important to me. If any strays try to interrupt my research, I just turn into a giant snake and eat them.
You understand this isn't for fun.
Of course not.
I'm
Yes.
not gonna go
No,
kill
of course not! Of
hundreds
course
of
not.
thousands of people for fun. You understand that, right?
Whoa, man, are you
Mhm.
applying that I'm doing this for fun when I'm trying to get my theory, man? Like, it's kind of wrong.
Yes, yes I
Kinda
am.
disrespectful as fuck, bruh.
Yeah, like, why would I do
I
that?
get that.
I don't like violence. I'm a scientist.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean
And a
they're not
philosopher.
violent against you. If the third Aegis is around and figures out that you're from here, it's over for you.
Then then if they run into me, I'll just try to be not violent, act like I'm some random strangler, and if they still try to get me, like I said, I'll turn into a giant snake and eat. And I'll spit them out after. I'm not gonna swallow
You
that.
see, I was gonna say, you seem like you really want to eat people.
No, it's just they tend to run when they see a giant snake, but sometimes
Uh-huh.
some are very, very daring.
Men run away when they
Very.
see a giant snake.
Oh my god.
Ishmael looks to you, Caitlin goes, I don't want to join you on this campaign, but can I send along an assistant or I'll send along one of my constructs to observe how your soldiers fight for some of my... I need it for analytical knowledge for my project. So I'll be sending like a construct, a small bird along with you, if it's okay to just study how your people fight, the styles.
Fine. You're not at least going out somewhere where you want to die.
No, I very much
That's
like
fine.
being alive.
Can you convince these two of that?
From what Shruti has gathered about the Third Aegis, they do take prisoners, but they have very excruciating torture methods for their prisoners, as a heads up for the two of you. If you are captured, you'll be put through horrible torture and most likely locked away in a very secure, unseeable location due to magic restrictions, and left there for some
Finally.
time.
Well, I hate that, but I really have
Ishmael looks at you, Yamcha, after you say finally, he just goes, he goes, and looks in your direction, finally, and
Finally. This is my moment.
your moment. It's horrible. There was a story of a commandant that was captured and held there for over a year.
My research.
Oh. If you're going to go, I recommend bringing at least your personal guards with you as well, the two of you. They are so...
Oh no, I plan on doing that.
Sounds perfect, thanks.
Ishmael turns back around to his station and it's going to continue working.
And then I look back at my friend. So the glass, the whole glasses look where I'm looking over my shades and looking at you.
Big old eyes. Bing, 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 bing.
As long as you're fine with the idea of possibly dying.
I
I mean,
trust in you.
we're always at risk of dying. Like, this is just, quickening the process.
What?
Smile?
Again, I am starting a war, so
Don't worry. Like I said, I'm not gonna be too close to your war. I'm just gonna be off into a very, very deep, contained area. I won't be outside.
I'll make sure nobody finds out where you're from.
Of course.
You're always looking out for us.
Plus, I used to be a traveler. Don't forget that before I decided to settle here.
That sounds like I couldn't find this. Sounds like I couldn't find it. This is the one.
Ah,
Ding 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 ding. Flutter. Big ol' eyes blinking. Pretty please. Ding 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 ding.
Oh, I'll be on my best behavior.
I'll be so good.
Yo, you won't hear a peep from me. I promise. Well,
Fine. You need to figure out what to big for yourself.
Thank you.
there is an equipment shop section in your sheets. Everyone as characters. You are welcome to just grab one item, no greater than a rare of rarity, because you do have an allowance as part of the Spire for research purposes. That goes for only those leaving the campaign can do that. I guess not everyone can. I'll say everyone can grab nothing more than a rare. They don't gotta do it now, but seeing as you have to be able to prepare, whenever you have time for it, you can do it. It can be at any point in time in the game. It cannot be an attunement item. It can be magical, but it cannot be attunement. Just a heads up.
Where do you find that?
I believe if you go to your sheet, if you click on the three dots, it should be like an equipment shop thing, I believe. Is that there for you guys or don't for me?
Nope, it's there.
Okay, yeah, just if you find an item you guys want, this probably should be a post-game thing. Send me
Yes,
items.
definitely.
Oh, God, it's a whole other stuff.
It's everything, yes. So send me items.
Where is it?
If you click on your sheet, click on the three dots in the top right corner, there's an equipment shop thing in there.
It says, yep, it says equipment.
So this is,
Oh.
again, so it's mainly for like consumables and like scrolls and stuff like that, but you can get like one item of rare or less rarity. But again, no attuned items. It cannot be attuned.
Gosh, bro. Boring.
Well, you already have your custom items. If you want to get attuned items, that's something you'd have to request from the administration as a whole, which is me in this case. And they'll have to approve you getting a new magic item because while this is a radness, they cannot just give out like, legendary items to anyone. The modern item, most equipment you guys are given for your station is usually considered rare or higher by default, just because of how well off Arad is in sort of arcane technology. That being said, there are 3 weeks of downtime for you all. I can assume what 3 of you would do: Kayleen, Yamcha, and Axel, preparation for departure. Ophelia and Clive, though, what would you two be doing in this 3 weeks of time you have between now and the departure of half of your group?
Study.
Study.
Equation.
Let me check my notes for you,
All I've
actually.
ever been doing.
You are told, Ophelia, that... There it is. From your team, in particular, that they'll need... for additional breakthroughs in this, they said to give them about 3.5 weeks from what you had given them to see if they can get you started on the next step of your research. However, roll me either an Arcana check or a investigation check to see what progress you can make on your own. And while you're doing that, Clive, what would you be doing in your downtime?
I want to give just a flat answer, but probably getting further into the investigation of the figure 8 killer. I first by going back to the Benny murder scene.
Okay. I will say this would probably be this would be within the first week of time. So we'll do a week at a time. This is the first week of time. Within the first week, you make your roll. You work the crime scene. It is being patrolled by just general, it's city enforcers. The generic enforcers, the same one that you saw in the previous one shot, are not like patrolling it, but they're kind of keeping an eye on the area, kind of within the general block radius or so of it. They give you access to the scene. Let me change the song. We will do... we'll actually do this song again. arriving back at this location almost instantly brings back the anxieties and feelings. They did clean up. There's no longer blood or viscera anywhere, but they could not remove the broken banister, the cracked wall, the destroyed furniture, the shattered glass. All that still lingers here as you enter in this place. But the rest of it cleaned up. There is no blood, no teeth, no fingers, nothing like that along the lines.
Okay.
What in particular would you care to look for? You did a general investigation of this place when you first arrived. What more would you care to glean from this place? This will not be a very long investigation. Actually, I'll say this will be for 2 weeks of time. Will be what this role will be for. I'm coming back here every couple of days to investigate in between other work you have to do. So, what would you care to glean in the next 2 weeks of time from just coming back to the house and the area around it?
Clyde would first try to make a map of the timeline of events. Like, when did the killer show up? How'd they get in? Where exactly? Where could they have possibly left and gone? And then just kind of a general, is there anything anyone could have possibly missed?
For the first check, I would like insight, please, for this.
Okay.
Whoo-wee!
Damn.
To get a timeline of events with that check, the first thing that happens, you see... Actually, let me make the first roll for the killer.
Oh, shit.
To see what evidence they might have left behind for you to gain a timeline of events.
Oh, he about to capture this guy. Yo, this is so Punisher looking, bro. Oh no.
Trying to gain a timeline of events, and this person's been on your... They've been on your list for a while. This has been your primary suspect. You know their MO, you know how they act, as best you can, of course. You try to piece things together beyond what you saw and were told upon arrival, and you find almost nothing. They rolled really well for that first check to see how well they initially approached the residence. You understand, of course, they came through the window, and as you track from the broken window they snuck in by when they first attacked Benny's workshop, you cannot find what point they came in from the property. It could have been from the roof, could have been over a fence, they could have came in from the street and just walked around back, but you cannot decipher exactly where it first actually began beyond that window in the workshop. Trailing inside, though, you do follow the steps that you were laid out for you, almost walking through it yourself, step by step, of how the conflict went. You walk into the workshop, almost yourself climbing through that broken window in the workshop to find the table Benny was working at. You scan the room, roll me investigation at advantage now, because you were here before. Now it is bright out, and you have a clear head. This allows you to take a gander. Whoa. 23. Dang! Okay.
Not too bad.
23. I will roll a sleight of hand check. Alright. You begin to walk step by step through this. You see faint scuff marks on the ground from where boots or feet were. And you see that from the window, they immediately pivoted on their back foot and swung the blade toward where Benny was sitting. You see now the top of her chair at the angle it fell is away from the window. Benny hurried leaned back in an attempt to get away. The hand was cut when he fell back. You find another skid mark, a scuff where both feet were planted, and there looked to be like a large shove as Benny probably was thrown through the glass window at that point, and began to pace and follow along these steps. You find on the wall faint scorch marks of where a spell was shot, as Benny, to your knowledge, was a wizard of sorts, a spellcaster. You find where magic was shot and missed before you see more of a pushed-up rug and footfalls heading down the hallway, where you see what looks to be bits of acid burn, possibly from another spell somewhere in here. However, not all of it coats the walls. You can assume that your target might have been struck by bits of this acid. possibly.
Okay.
Perhaps a burn hit them. A faint bit of the acid from Benny's strike did land. Not enough to deter whatever happened, but you can see that almost an outline of where the spell landed, and it hit something that was not just the wall. You arrive at the staircase, and you see what looks to be a faint kind of burned hand outprint on the wall, and then scorch marks across the upper, rim of the wall above the stairs, possibly where their spell misfired before the banister is broken, and you see a crack in the stone where you can assume Benny was thrown into. You see a boot print on the lower part of the staircase as if someone had pushed off the back wall to kick Benny through the banister into the wall, presumably alluding to... Roll me insight, please.
Got you. Is the boot print like a distinct boot, or just kind of like a...
It is...
Any old average Joe could have it?
I will tie it with your insight check. This look. Actually, roll in perception. Roll in perception, please.
Perception.
Yes. 23. The boot print is hard to gauge any sort of particular shoe. It is very smudged, as if almost unintentionally with each step. Very professionally done. With each step they took, while there's a boot print, it is like a step, smear, and a smudge for them to stop again. Almost as if they were intentionally marking up the floor so that you cannot get a good gleam of the size of shoe, nor what kind of shoe it was. However, with the 18 insight, you can just presume that with how the foot was placed on the wall, the person that had assaulted Benny is not strong by any means. They use that wall as a lever to push him through the banister into the wall and almost use Benny's weight to slam him and crack him into the stone. The person you're fighting has very little physical strength. You fall to the doorway where you find more blood pot where Benny was stabbed through the back, trying to go for the doorway. And following these steps, you do see where the carpet is pushed up as Benny was kind of almost, you can assume, slammed into the door from the force of the stab, almost using their whole body weight to run up and stab him into the back before pulling him back and dragging him down the hallway. There are faint, of course, drag or nail scratches into the ground itself before you see in the ceiling indications of two small bolts of arcane force that must have struck the ceiling, while one you can assume struck true to the target, most likely. As another spell had presumably hit this target during the time, before returning back to the original scene of the crime where the final act of the murder was transcribed. The countertop where Benny was impacted upon, you find it to be, once again, possibly not even from just their own force of strength in doing so. You want to say almost as if there was no second person making Benny do that by force. You want to say as if it was almost, you find from the drags the boot prints kind of skid off to the side and smear again, and you see the faint, almost left behind outlines of bloody footprints heading to the countertop themselves, where the extra damage was done to Benny's, rest of his face and his body, almost as if he himself walked over and slammed his face into this countertop to break whatever bones or teeth were in his jaw. As if almost coerced by something. And then, of course, the rest is as you saw it. He was killed on the floor of the living room, and the body mutilated. And that is what you get from your 2 weeks of investigation here.
You see him go down like a bitch.
And level 12 wizard.
Boy.
Might not be the best in hand-to-hand combat, but there are some spells where it's save or suck, you know? Even if you save it, you take some damage, and there are some spells like that.
My boy. It's my boy.
We go to Ophelia, who's doing research. You got on your roll, let me scroll real quick. You got on your roll a 23. Let me go look at my notes real fast. Bum. Let me make sure I pick the right one. There we go. Ophelia, with this 23, you believe that... Song again? From what you've already gleaned, the possible damages that could be done with a completed equation might be irreparable, but it's only a possible theory. The potential of having a persistent bridge between planes is in itself unknowable and therefore potentially catastrophically detrimental, or perhaps without a doubt a viable point for some sort of incursion by just the planar forces themselves, as if two environments were trying to coexist or commingle, but you're not too sure beyond that, and you would need whatever findings your team brings back to you to get a clearer picture of this thought that crossed your mind through your own isolated self-research and study.
Okay.
Two and a half weeks in, about 3 days prior to departure by Kayleen, Axel, and Yamcha. Let me scroll here to get this right. This would be while the three of you, the team going out to the Deadlands, are, at this point in time, being so close to departure, you are currently out in the, I guess, departure area where the Citadel is parked. This large floating fortress, almost a small town of a floating structure. There are, barracks aboard, there's mess halls, there's a central control center, there's training rooms, there's holding cells. It is essentially like, assume it's like 3 cruise ships put into one floating region. There's a lot of space and ground to cover. It is almost a mile and a half from end to end of this Citadel. And it does indeed fly. You are brought on board via teleportation, like Citadel that kind of flash you from the ground up into a sort of general arrival departure area. Think like TSA with television circles. You are brought up instantaneously to a room full of siege weaponry and land carts and vehicles, and there are staff rushing around, and the two of you are met by, or sorry, the three of you are met by Kayleen, who walks up to you and goes, Kayleen, Commandant, some members, it's nice to meet you all. I'm Leyland Haas. I'm the second in command alongside your friend Kayleen. It's nice to meet you guys.
Yeah, you too.
I'm told that they'll be, looks to you, Kayleen, I'm told they'll be accompanying us. Will they be bringing their own security, or should I get some of our men to watch over them while they're aboard?
I have my own security.
Yeah, we have our own security.
Very well, but Commandant, your orders pertaining to this? Are they to be left to their own devices, or would you like oversight on them while they're here?
I think they should be fine.
Of course. Well, let me give you a tour of the place. Please follow me. While you're inside, of course, your connection to your arcane consciousness is present, but it will be limited for security purposes, just overall. But I'll show you around so you get a lay of the area, and you know what areas you are free to travel to and what areas might be a bit more restricted. Commandant, Kayleen, in the command center, I believe there is a member of intelligence who wishes to speak with you pertaining the information you would like about the research center we're heading to.
Perfect. We'll just walk. You two are on your own.
Alrighty.
Come on, let's go.
Thank you again.
Well, Commandant, I'd like to follow them around, at least show them the place. I think the men would be more comfortable knowing that these people are guests of ours by seeing one of us following them around, so I'll escort them. But additionally, the intelligence member wanted to speak to you in private, so I shouldn't probably be there. I don't fuck with intelligence, to be honest.
Just point me the way. I'll talk to him once you show these two wherever they need to be.
Of course.
We'll, catch up.
Of course, sir. Or Kayleen. He's trying to keep it. He's trying to abide by what you said, but you can definitely tell there's a bit more of work to do with this one. When you were told he's earnest, and young, it is very much showcasing in a lot of what he is saying and doing. That you told him to call him Kayleen, but he's like, you're in front of your friends. He's like, should I call you Commandant in front of your friends, or like, and he's trying to get that gauge from you. And as you send him off, he begins to head down and runs up behind you, Yamcha, and Axel goes, I'll be escorting you all around the premises. Please follow me.
Okay, let's go.
And again, as I described to you, huge fucking place. There's mess halls and training areas and like a whole prison section, the armories. There is a small onboard wing that can be adjusted for research purposes for you all while you're here, but it is currently set up just now as like a general engineering bay for like contract work. Additionally, Kayleen, there's a small like little. It's like a small little dude, like no bigger than like a stuffed teddy bear mechanical creature that Ishmael sent with you, and it's just called Bravo. And he's just a little construct. He doesn't do much. He can't talk. He just looks at you with like two big old robot eyes, and he's just following you around. He has a small like notebook in his hand that he's writing things on as he follows you around, and he looks at me like actually doing what Ishmael. He's just taking notes on how your soldiers walk around, how they act. He at one point in time when you pass by the training area, he kind of walks out from the training area and just writes stuff about them, and you just kind of lose sight of him for a while as he's somewhere aboard the Citadel now, just writing stuff down.
Okay.
You arrive in the command center and you see just a generally all black attired intelligence agent who walks over to you and goes, I was told to directly relay this information to you, Commandant, regarding the research facility. It is currently secure. There are reports of tunnels within at least a 50-mile radius of it, but none are active, we don't believe. Your friend should be secure there. Additionally, as long as they remain inside, the security of the facility will keep them safe as well. But we'd recommend dropping them off in the cover of night as to limit visibility by any prying eyes. Now, if you'll excuse me, I will simply be taking a look around this structure. I will be relaying your troop size to intelligence to get a better gauge of your combat efficiency in terms of certain tasks when in the field. If you require me, simply have one of your officers retrieve me. And he begins to walk away with one of your general soldiers just following him as an escort. We actually jump over to Clive and Ophelia, as Clive, you return from a day of looking about, and Ophelia, you have been here working for most of the day. You return back to the General Assembly room itself, noticing that Kayleen, Axel, and Yamcha are not here currently. The two of you, pull up my notes, make sure I get this correct before I say anything stupid.
How could I be so stupid?
Correction. Not the two of you. Ophelia, you are currently in your room still. I was wrong.
Uh-huh.
Clive, you return back, and you're kind of looking out. It's like a large open bay window that overlooks most of the city. You're just kind of taking in the city, and about the same time, this comes to Yamcha and Axel, even though you were over at... Actually, I forgot. Let me show you where you guys are. I'm tripping. I'll just give you Kayleen's token. You guys that are not inside the spire are over in here. This is the kind of general area where the Citadel's land and stuff. You guys are over in this area. You're on Kayleen's token currently. You guys are kind of on the surface near one of the large... They're like these large, almost watchtowers aboard the Citadel that you're being kind of escorted through. And at this point in time, as you're being kind of brought back through them down towards the lower levels, Clive, Yamcha, Axel, you can feel a faint buzz in your mind, Kayleen, but bits of just the general arcane interference of the Citadel right now, while it's still in its prime state. You can tell that Adric Mind is trying to reach you, but just how deep you're in the facility right now, it is a bit difficult currently. Which is not usually a problem, but you can assume something is occurring that is taking away some level of focus from Adric Mind, but they are still trying to reach you through this, I guess, more secure location you're currently in. But all of you, in almost an instant, save for Ophelia, Adjunct Mind comes to you all with a flood of information. Reports and sightings of something from across the entirety of the material plane, essentially the planet. Detailed descriptions of something appearing in the stars. And for a moment, the thoughts of Adjunct Mind merge with your own for a moment, and you understand why this particularly was brought to your attention. And it is not the event as a whole, which while itself is interesting, that caught their attention, but it is the circumstances that surround the event as well that appeared to be a bit strange. You just hear, this event is causing a huge commotion across the plane. Those who can see this phenomenon describe it as a red star in the sky. It is said that the sun dimmed when it first appeared, its light being diminished and possibly even dampened by the arrival of this red star before returning to normal. The red star lasted only a few hours, then it is reported the sun across at least half of the plane went dark for a few minutes.
Oh.
The truth seekers seem intent on taking lead, but the ministry is trying to stake their claim to be first on the scene for security purposes. They're both scrambling to get a hold of the situation and seem to be communicating very poorly between themselves and other groups. I will keep you all posted on future updates, but for the time, that is all I have to update you on.
Man, ain't it useful to have that little thingy?
Like,
While this is
I
happening,
love-
I'll continue.
Love the little robot.
I'm not a robot. I'm a conscious mind. I'm just an arcane one.
I love the conscious mind.
I enjoy your company too, Axel.
Oh wait, I had this conversation before in the beginning too.
Yeah, you told me he was your friend. You told me he was your friend.
Yeah. And then I said, man, I love you. He's like,
You think I'm your friend? Really? We jump to Ophelia. At about the same time, you are currently not isolated, but you've chosen to be cut off partially from Adjunct Mind to focus on your research. And it is about this point in time, the 2.5-week mark of events passing, where your team finally gets back to you and they bring you information. Ophelia, one of the truth seekers that has been assigned to assist you in your research enters your workspace. It is a lithe, older gentleman by the name of Vasily. Or Vaz. You can call him Vasily or Vaz. Your choice. This is Vasily. Oh, wrong thing. This is Vasily. Old dude.
Oh.
what an old man.
Older dude. He's considered to be one of the greatest minds that pertain to planar travel and transpositional magics and sciences and physics within Aradnus. And he was assigned to assist you in your research. He walks up and goes, regarding the breakthrough you made, Ophelia, as he walks up and kind of taps you on the shoulder with the small pipe he's smoking from. I have compared some notes from your original work with your former faction and records of similar work from other fanatical factions of the past, and come to a conclusion. And he kind of starts to spin your chair so you can face the large flipping almost chalk whiteboard. It's magical, of course, but it's essentially like a flipping chalkboard that he begins to walk around to. Would you care to hear my conclusion, or would you like to make an assumption, a guess? I'm always fond of your guesses, Ophelia. Guess what I have concluded with your research.
I have to admit I'm in more of a somber mood as a friend of another of the assembly was found dead the other day. So I will keep my guesses down for now. I would like just some good information.
And the smile on his face, oh my god. The smile, this kind of grin, jovialness across his face is beginning to drop and diminish, and he goes, apologies, I did not know this. Then I will skip the showmanship. It is possible. Your hypothesis is possible, but, and there's a caveat, not as you envision it to be so. At least, not with our current comprehension or grasp of planar travel. And he turns the board around, begins to draw with his finger on the screen to show you different calculations and numbers and imagery. We have identified that the objective of this work is no longer to require the use of tuning rods to do travel. That was the basis of this hypothesis and project, correct?
That would be correct. Just pure magic alone.
Yes, you intend to make a breach point, a physical and visible doorway that simply opens when commanded and closes when commanded. If that is your objective, your research, I'm afraid, to this point is greatly flawed, and it might not be a fault to your own, but perhaps to how you began this initial discovery.
And how do you conclude that?
I'm glad you asked. On the current path you are forging, there will be no way to close what has been opened. The planar equation was a theory that was constructed by followers of a deity who presumably sought to permanently grant their patron access to whatever location the planar gate was opened. This means all research resources, assistance, and guidelines by your predecessors, and by proxy by you during your initial research, had one goal in mind: to no longer restrict their patron access to planes. Why would you close a door that you want to be permanently open? Your initial theories were made to open a door and leave it open for someone to walk to and from at their leisure.
So we have never calculated for a closing point in the equation.
Exactly. They, the deities of course, the patron of your previous subject of focus, to our knowledge, deities can only interfere with the planes via followers or a sanctified land. Think like a temple or a more tangible location of their faith. Think like a glade or an open plain of grass that has roots to their location. Your studies and progress will create a door that cannot be closed because it would have allowed the deity from your initial research to create their own sanctified territory wherever they desired, opening rifts and converging their domains into any plane of their choice. We did not perceive or conceive of a possibility of a closing door because the initial hypothesis never considered closing the door to even be an option or a thought. And I believe that is where the flaw lies in this. You wanted an open door, what you were going to make initially was going to be a hole in the wall.
I see. So, with this new conclusion being found, have you brought me any alternatives to arrive on the other side of the wall without hurting?
That is where I believe the two of us must work together on this, which is why I am here and I propose we lock ourselves in this lab and work until we find the solution. But to get there, I must first ask you. Think back to when you were first granted the position of researcher in your previous group before you joined Oradnus. What did they tell you your objective was, and what did they tell you you were to do?
Funnily enough, I actually did just reread my backstory pre-session, and it doesn't specify that to a great degree, so this is on to an extent.
You were put in charge of the research, and it was, while a technical position of extreme importance, it more, to your recollection, held both that technical importance but also a zealous significance. You were told that your mind was a gift from your patron deity Servasi, and that you were to become a you are to become a servitor and carry on the god's ambitions for planetary unity and peace. And it started with bridging the gap between Servasi's domain and the material plane where Radnus's capital resides. The benevolence of Servasi, or as they are known today as the Celestial Renegades, were researching a permanent bridge between the domain of Servasi and the material plane to create a territory for your deity in this plane that would give them a direct hand in creating their peaceful integration of celestial individuals. Because, of course, Aradnus is very much a pro-mortal, not anti-anything, but more likely than not, skeptical and wary of things directly connected to deities and gods and things on those lines because of previous interaction between the Empire and those groups. But you were told that you were to be a servitor of extreme importance and zealous significance that would create the bridge for planar unity and peace between Servasi's ideals and the current status of the material plane.
Okay, so in that case, repeat his question.
Think back to when you were first granted the position of researcher before you came to Uranus, your previous group. What did they tell you your objective was? What did they tell you you were going to do?
I was given the title of servitor, which holds high religious value amongst the zealots of my previous home. Although I just took what they gave me so that I could pursue my research as its own goal, regardless of why they wanted to do it. That being said, the goal was to bridge the domain of Servasi and allow their grasp to touch the material world.
With that in mind, you see where the flaws might lie. From the very beginning, you're to make this bridge. Most bridges do not fold open and closed. They are persistent. We will need to step cautiously and possibly step back and observe the strands we are plucking at. There is a solution. There always must be. But if there is not, we as Aradnians will make one. So let us find this alternative together. And he clears the board and immediately begins to write down different calculations on this arcane chalkboard of sorts, and just for you to join him in this brainstorming process. We will be ending very soon. Before doing so, what happened to you? Before doing so, we jump back to those of you aboard the Citadel. We are going to move time forward one last time to the day of departure. It has been 3 weeks since the initial meeting with the administration. Today, Kayleen and his batch are dispersing themselves, or are departing for the Deadlands. Do you all, Kayleen, Yamcha, or Axel, have anything to say to Clive and Ophelia before you depart for an indeterminate amount of time? At least a month, to your knowledge.
I hope you get down to business, and I hope you find a conclusion.
Feet behind.
Say what to Clive?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, got you. That's much obliged, Yamcha. Y'all try to stay safe out there. And
Well, you will try our best.
hope to see y'all soon. Clive's gonna look towards Oh, fuck, I'm blanking on names.
Is it Axel? Divine?
Nope.
Kaylee? Oh, Kaylee.
Kaylee. It started with K. He's gonna pass a message. He'll be like, don't you worry about Ophelia. I'll make sure nothing happens to her. No one else. No one of our friends is gonna die no more.
David exploded. He's dead.
Wow.
You can't respond to the message if you'd like, by the way, Kaylee, and then you get the message spell from Clive.
I don't think I'm too worried about her. She's very strong-willed, if you could say. I don't think we'll have to worry about it.
Just give you a little smirk and nod. Hit my hat toward you.
I don't want to assume, of course, but Ophelia, did you leave your research to say goodbye to them, or are you wholly locked into this theory right now? Christian gone.
What do you mean?
Did you leave to say goodbye to them before they depart, or are you staying in your research room to keep working?
I believe I just signed a soul-bound contract with my best lead to do this shit, to not leave this no matter what. I probably don't even remember people are leaving.
I will ask as well, Yamcha, would you be bringing your assistant Kay with you aboard?
Yes. I'll be bringing him with me.
I will now give you guys access to if you look in the companion section, there is now a thing in there that showcases the vehicle you guys have. I did that wrong. I'm a goofball. You don't get that anymore. I forgot, the one I gave you guys is on the map, actually. I'm just tripping. I'm bugging out. But I need to add that. Kay will look to you and say, Yam should say, I'll be keeping an eye on you. If you feel anything off, just let me know. Alright?
Yeah.
Are you sure about going to a war zone, though? I mean, I know I suggested the idea, but are you certain?
You know how bored I am in the lab all day. This would be a great opportunity to see what there is beyond the border.
Alright. Well, he looks at your two... you each have one guy. He looks at your assigned bodyguard from the Generalist Assembly. Nods. Alright, well, I'm with you. To the end.
Hell yeah. And I knuckle. I
Yeah.
do a fist
Adventure
bump.
time! Fist bump. Axel,
That's me.
your escort is there as well. Would you be bringing your previous associates from Shoha with you? Your previous philosophers group and circle?
Yes.
Alright. I'm going to put that in my notes so I can add that in there later. 3 philosophers. I'm gonna put 3 fill in there. And then K and Bravo. Just a note to add to my thing later. 3 fill, K,
Gotcha.
Bravo. You guys depart. You do not see, as you exit the assembly spire, you do not see Ophelia. You see her office, her research center door is closed currently. And you do hear talking in there, faint muttered words between her and her assistant Vasily.
I believe in privacy. I will not intervene.
Adjunct Mind goes, "Goodbye, everyone. I'll see you when you return. Stay safe."
You too, Frank.
Oh, I cannot be harmed physically.
Stay safe. Stay. What the? I can't speak. Hold up. Stay safe.
Okay. Thanks, friend.
Friend.
That thing is cataloging me. Axel is a weirdo.
You feel like the little emoji smile in your head when he says friend. Thanks, friend. Give a little emoji smile. Ophelia, in your mind as you're working, very faint voice, just kind of there. Apologies to interrupt, Mr. or Lady Ophelia. Your associates are departing for the Deadlands now, if you wish to say goodbye. And it recedes again. She'll give a damn. She said, who? Who leaving? I don't know nobody out there. With that being said, the three of you officially depart from the core. You guys will not be seeing this map for quite some time. You're going to be on... let me pull you all here. Pull to scene. Pull to scene. And pull to scene. You can name this vehicle. You guys will be on this thing for the foreseeable future.
By the way, DM, I will say before we leave, I do send messages out to my other friends who were staying. So they will get a message from Clive. I mean, Clive, what the hell? From me saying, you know, I will be heading out. Stay safe. I'll be back. And I'll let you know on my research, as well as y'all let me know if anything, finding good progress y'all made when I get back. And then I'll tell Clive to please stay safe.
I'll do my best.
You guys
No promises.
depart for the Deadlands, and there's... what time is it? Make sure my clock. There's 2 more things to do before we close things out. It does take you all some time to get to Deadlands, so we'll say... I believe it is... I actually have my notes here. I'm tripping. I have my notes that tell me how long it takes to get to Deadlands. Your hunt for Third Age in the Deadlands begins. Kayleen, along with your allies, you have a very strict schedule, but thousands of miles to cover. A trying task. It takes you an additional 2 weeks to get to the area of operation. We will... to achieve the area of operation, establish your logistics network, and deploy the scouts you had requested to begin scanning. We'll, of course, go over that in the next session. However, you are, by the time you get there and send the scouts out, nearing the end of the first month of this, or entering the end half of the first month of investigation. We'll go over a lot more details next session, of course, but before we end, I have to jump to 2 people in particular. First, we jump over to Axel.
Dang it, man. I was like, please be safe. Please be safe, man. Please be safe.
Please. Not me, not me, not me, not me.
Just like a teacher standing right behind. Dang, man.
Axel, I messed up. This actually messed up my own notes. This is wrong. It should have been in my notes. This would have happened around the same time that you had gotten the reports from Adjunct Mind about the Red Star.
Shoot.
So this is my fault. This would have been around the same time that you got those reports.
That's okay.
As these reports flood into your mind from your arcane consciousness, you begin to hear voices muffled as if being distorted by the density of water around your ears. You would have seen in the assembly spire individuals, 2 of them pacing the room quietly, an avian man and a man adorned in fine robes. And just at the point when Adric Mind finished detailing to you the details of this Red Star incident and everything that happened to you, it appears as though the people that you're watching pace in the room stop moving and deliberate. But then, nothing happens. And at the same point in time when Ishmael entered the room to talk with you all, you see almost an overlapped visage of Ishmael doing the same thing, entering the room for those 2 individuals as well. And as he would have concluded talking to you all about sending Bravo with Kayleen, the people you glimpse from what you can presume to be this other time calmly return to their seating areas and return to what you can assume to be their normal activities, taking no further action. And the information that you assume they must have also heard about this Red Star does not push them to do anything. A group that stands exactly where you are at this exact moment that you are does nothing. what would you have done differently? You can come back to me with that decision next session as we jump now over to Hawk, Clive. You
So,
are finally contacted by intelligence to come look over Benny's body. And this is brought to you. Well, correction, sorry. Not entirely, I forgot. Rewind that. You are told that you will be allowed to see Benny's body by the end of the week. You are contacting about them to see Benny's body right by the end of the week part. By the end of the week.
right.
And as you receive this message and sit almost in silent contemplation within the assembly spire, Ophelia is still cooped up in her office area. Footfalls begin to approach at your back. Softly, but not unheard. They stop roughly 10 feet or so behind you. Where is...
They got something to say? Or...
There it is. You see this individual. The man that you had previously seen speaking with Benny within the high chamber when he had arrived late. Benny mentioned his name once or twice, and you recall it was Demetrius. And you recall him being a member of Ministry Intelligence, the same branch that Benny had worked under within the Ministry. Demetrius, however, from what Benny told you, was a considerably higher rank. And he once said that if a spot had opened within the Ministry Administration section, he could see Demetrius being nominated to be the one to fill the void. He does not know what Demetrius actually does, nor do you.
Okay.
As you say, you're going to stand there. He says, I understand Benny was a close associate of yours, and I apologize for getting to you so late regarding things.
Alright.
He was a devoted and earnest intelligence officer. I only wish my staff had gotten there sooner. Bureaucracy always makes a mess of the best of us and leaves who remains with little to do to rectify the wrongs committed.
How long as he says that?
I had intended to have my associates retrieve Benny for a discussion with myself that very same evening, hence why you can notice that we were the first on the scene, as you'd probably noticed upon arrival. I had wished to speak with Benny regarding... I'm not sure how much you knew of Benny's work previously.
I know a bit, yeah.
You would know he was an investigator that looked into the checks and balances of the administration then, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I had reason to believe that, and this is of course why I had went to Benny for this and wanted to retrieve him securely, there's a possibility of the administration's member Lanoth being involved with conspiratorial actions against the Empire. I know Benny was close to Lanoth, and I wanted to see if he had any additional information or was going to be a part of the investigation into Lanoth. And I sent my people to retrieve him and investigate or escort him to the Ministry Spire just in case the people under scrutiny pulled something and made a play against Benny, which I'm not saying is exactly what happened, but something definitely did happen that evening. And
I've just kind of holds a fist to his chin, just contemplating.
I bring this up to you now, of course, one, because you are involved in the spree of murders pertaining to the same individual, most likely, but also because I want to put a few thoughts into your mind regarding my theories. They are not unfounded, regarding Lanoth, of course. If the Third Aegis campaign were to fail, who would the people turn to if not the strongest and most renowned commander in Aradnian history? Lionel will not only gain, or not sent not only to gain a chance to relive his glory days, but that would be an opening to take Lucy's place as Chief of Civil Service, potentially. The one who will lead all defenses of the Corps' home front, a station second only to the Potentate and arguably the Incarnates themselves. And this is, again, just a theory, a working theory, but many things have begun to, at least in my mind, possibly line up pertaining to these events. With Benny gone, there is no one to provide oversight onto the more renowned members of the Ministry, because who would dare question the Elders? Namely, of course, Lanoth and his recent protege, Z. If the two of them saw fit, they have the accolades, tact, and sway to carefully manipulate and maneuver the administration or the Ministry toward their own goals. They could allocate more funding and resources to fronts of their choosing, letting others fall to the wayside should the objectives conflict with their own interest. And I ask you, of course, to look at the conflict against the Celestial Renegades that Z is assigned to, and her victorious results are undeniable. However, the resources at her disposal are lower than almost any other active front. There's many things that could be mere coincidence, but also could be a clever play behind the scenes.
As Clive kind of takes all that in, reason puts out with a sigh. Am I able to make an insight check at all?
Yeah, by all means.
Okay. Just to kind of gauge how much weight or truth this holds, rather.
Okay. Is it insight into Demetrius as a person, or into what he's saying, or into this the overall subject matter of what he's talking about?
More into what he's saying.
Okay. With an 18, you have, again, this could just be, from what he's saying, things lining up in your mind now with this being brought to your forefront. But you do know that the Ministry wants a swift victory against the Third Aegis. You do know that Z is definitely a focus of laying out attention in terms of individuals that can see growth. You know that he has recently been training Kayleen, but before Kayleen was being brought or trained by Lanoth and trained alongside Z, Z was his essentially his prodigy, or his protege, his student by all intents. Right. So there could be some merit to what is being said, and as you're thinking about this, Demetrius continues, almost echoing one of your thoughts, and just goes, I believe the Ministry wants a swift victory against the Third Aegis, so that the merits garnered by the force sent to fight will be minimal. For any plans to work, he needs the spotlight to be on Z, his successor, while he aims for the position Lucy holds as Chief of Civil Defense. If his pet project war against the Renegades is to be a success, he needs to be in the spotlight. It will be all but a sure way to secure status for Z, and then she will hold military power equivalent to that of himself, which by proxy means some of the best assets the Ministry has to offer. He'll have his own private army that operates under a student and be under the scrutiny of only the Potentate themselves in regards to how they best handle the defense of Iranian territories. There are just many checks and balances that could be skipped over, the very same ones that Benny was devoted to, and most of the energy being towards. And again, even if Lanoth and Z are not what circumstances paint them to be, someone has been killing rising stars and figures of growing reputation in Aradnis for some time. I believe the very same investigation you personally strive to solve and the inquiry by Ministry Intelligence connect somewhere, and I want us to work together to find out just how they do so.
Well, alright. I don't see a reason why we can't work together then. Thank you for bringing this to my attention.
Of course, I'm working very hard to ensure the Empire is in a better state come this new era they speak of. And it starts with doing a lot of the dirty work. So I'm grateful to you. Very much grateful to you. And I would request, I've spoken with Kayleen myself regarding assisting you with intelligence for the war front with the Third Aegis, but I'd request you keep an eye on him and his connection and relationship with Lanoth, and just be the astute observer I know the Hawk is.
It's a new lead for me to follow on.
Excellent.
I appreciate the food for thought.
You will be given access to Benny's body in the coming weeks, hopefully before the next administration meeting, but I cannot guarantee anything just yet. We are still low on manpower, resources, and intelligence, but we're working as fast as we can. He turns and exits out of the adjunct spire, and as you are left deliberating this, and Ophelia deep in research, and as the rest of them begin not only their campaign against the Third Aegis, but their own isolated research at a very secure, essentially government black site for science, that is where we end tonight's session.
Yay!
Hell yeah. It was good to be back.
Hehe. Thanks, guys.
What'd you giggle?
Huh?
Face
There.
block. Face block.
Oh, hell no.
What did I do? I didn't do nothing.
I am I getting hate.
Why am I getting hate? I didn't do anything. Thanks for playing, guys.
It's fun. And